Hello. What's up, people? This is episode 107? Yeah. 107 of the UNFAMOUS Podcast. It's your boy Sean, Mr. NJ Brick City.
Just Kia.
Unreal Fiction.
Thank you.
Normal-ish voice.
Yes, appreciate it.
That was not my normal voice.
Doesn't matter.
I said normal-ish.
Look, you said it louder than you normally do, so I'm cool.
Yeah.
Oh, God. See. All right. So, we're back again. Another episode. Time for us to talk about some thought-provoking, ignorant shit.
Hell yeah.
But before we do that, Josh, man, how was your week, man?
My week was okay. I fucked up.
Ooh.
Real bad.
Oh, what you talking about?
Financially.
Oh.
I told you I...
Oh, yeah, you told me.
So basically my car payment comes out of my account.
Yeah.
This is what I hate about having shit linked to my account. Because I be forgetting. And they be taking money out. And you be like, you be thinking you got money, then you look up and you ain't got it. So basically, long story short, I ain't have it. And they took it out of my account.
Oh, yeah, they gonna get it.
My shit got overdrawn like a mother shit.
How bad was it?
It was pretty bad. I had to sell some shit.
Yeah, I know that part.
And I'm back at ground zero.
Sorry, bro.
But I mean, it was cool. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, bro, it's not cool.
That was not cool.
That's not. It wasn't cool at the moment, but I was able to recoup some losses, break even basically. So
yeah.
It wasn't all bad. And yeah, man, I figured I had to cancel my Netflix and Amazon because I don't really use Amazon like I used to. When I was using it, I kept my Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay, Amazon Prime.
Yeah, Amazon Prime. I don't use it like this, so
we're gonna start it.
They charge me like $12 a month. Like, fuck that, I need that.
We're gonna start
like
Patreon.
2 6-packs. You know what I'm saying?
Patreon account for Josh. Feed Josh.
Damn, bro, feed Josh. That man ain't dying.
Damn, bro. I know I'm skinny, but I ain't got flies on my eyes and shit.
Well, I want to commend you for doing what you need to do.
You
Because
got
some
it,
people,
Yeah, you seem like
you handle it. And some people would just be like, "Damn, dog. Hey, can I borrow?" You know what I'm saying? Like, without even attempting to do what they need to do for themselves first. So.
Nah, I mean, I don't do that. I don't like borrowing from nobody.
It's on here.
Unless it's absolutely necessary. But
yeah.
It's just one of those things where I just had to cancel some shit that was taking money out of my account. I had too many things
coming out,
auto drafting out my account. You know what I'm saying? I had to kind of trim the fat on that. But other than that, man, we can chill, man. I got a lot of annual coming up next month, so I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. But other than that, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
I feel it's Naisha.
Oh God, don't say that. Kid, what's up? What's been in you?
We gonna start it from the top. It's been pretty cool. This weekend I went and spent the weekend with the main. Got to see Boyz II Men and En Vogue live. It was awesome.
Boyz II Men and who?
En Vogue.
Oh, En Vogue.
Yes, and they sound exactly the same live, which I always appreciate. Boyz II Men, in my opinion, sound even better live, which I didn't even think was possible, but apparently. So yeah, it was really cool, and just they play the "I'll Make Love to You." That's like one of their biggest hits or whatever. So it was nice to have them live and to be able to slow dance to it. Like that was a moment, and it was raining a little bit. It was good.
I miss R&B groups.
Yeah,
I wasn't a big R&B fan. I mean, I fuck with them, but R&B groups.
Not really. No, not anymore. Like
that's a lost art or something.
The kind of harmony that they had, it was insane. Well, they came out with a new album last year. En Vogue did when in her life.
Yeah.
What's she up to?
She got the sex dungeon. Yeah,
she did the dungeon traveling thing. She opened up the second restaurant.
So she got her sexing and dungeoning?
I mean, she got a lot going on. But she was already worth like $35 million 3 or 4 years ago. So she killed in the game.
Okay.
She's been since she left the group, she's been writing for like country music, pop, she's been writing for quite some time now.
So
yeah, she making a coin.
I'm not mad at it. I mean, you got that in Real Housewives.
Oh, on a side note, I heard, I don't know how true this is, I heard Spinderella soon Salt and Pepper.
Yeah, I heard it on the radio, man.
I thought they was, said they ain't paying her. Said she found out they making all this money booking shows and they ain't tell her shit.
That's petty as hell.
I'm like, damn, that's fucked up.
That's petty. How does that work?
Right. Y'all was just,
bruh.
Y'all don't tell me nothing. Y'all just getting all this money.
Bro, y'all a whole group.
That's interesting. I do want to know how that turns out. But yeah, so yeah, we did the concert. We did like a little rooftop gathering where they had like little games and stuff. That was fun.
Where was it set again?
Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
And then both of the nights really we were in the house by like 10:30, sipping mimosas, smoking hookah, watching TV.
Smoking hookah.
Mostly him, not me. But yeah, it's been pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Sometimes
Got home, had a good quarterly review. Really excited about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
So I always say it's a good review if I have all the points of improvements and my leader only has good things to say. So
that's good.
Sounds like they're translating to more dollars.
More coins?
It's almost time. It's almost
More
time for another
coins?
review. Listen, I'm looking for the promotion and the bonus. So
Trying to get that promotion and the bonus.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All fun's intended. No, I'm just joking.
Oh,
I'll take the bonus. I don't want the promotion.
You want that?
Yeah, you don't care about the title. Just give me the money. That title. Give me that bread.
Go get the money, nigga.
Bread. Get paid, young lady. Get paid.
Hey.
Hey.
Just go.
Uh-huh. Exactly. I guess
Asmundo.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
bruh, stop being weird.
I had a good week.
Fuck.
What did I do?
I hate this nigga.
Me and Nikki went shooting,
Oh, that's what's up.
which
Or you went shooting up some clubs.
Bruh.
I would hope not clubs and maybe
what you
a
did there.
club.
Bruh,
It could be 2 clubs.
Bro, I shoot outside the club, not inside the club, dog.
Oh shit!
You're fully loaded, guy.
Yo, you wild, bruh.
Oh,
Trying to hit innocent bystanders or some shit. Bro. What's wrong with
you got that fully loaded Uzi.
Innocent bystanders, bruh.
Uzi Goozy.
Nah, but we went
Ew.
shooting. We went shooting and shit, and,
Hashtag this anyway.
which I kind of regret because I don't want to learn how to shoot and try to kill me. You know,
We don't do
Well,
that
if you,
fucked
I'm
up
about to
shit. You
say,
ain't
if
gotta
you
worry
don't do
about it.
anything to get killed, then
Bruh.
she was shooting good too. I
Mission
was like,
accomplished.
Bruh, like,
That's always fun.
bruh.
I remember the last time I went to a shooting range was with my brother, and he brought out the 40 cal.
Oh, shit.
Man,
Oh shit.
How was that
It's so much
kickback?
fun.
You told that kickback?
yeah. I mean, the first time I was like, ooh, but after that I was like, I
Adrenaline
like
rush.
it.
she like Kablawi.
Kablowski. But other than that,
Kablowski.
You stupid.
I didn't really do anything other than that. Really, that was the most. Oh, I set up some shit around my house and all that kind of shit. So nothing really big.
That's what's up. That's it?
Yeah.
Damn.
Y'all, Osmond friended me or sent me a friend request on Facebook,
Don't tell me you did.
and I looked at. No, I didn't deny it. I looked through his old pictures, and Oz just despised at the camera, y'all. Like he thought he was the coolest dude ever.
I used to what at the camp?
Smize. Bro, he had the Usher R&B face on and all of his pictures. dog.
Stop it!
You know, back in the day, you know, you had the hat and you had the clothes that was too big.
Oh my God!
They
Stop
look
it!
extra big on you because your
Stop
neck
it.
little.
Yeah, I believe that.
Bruh.
Let's talk more about this.
No!
Damn,
Here's
bro.
the thing. I don't even post shit on Facebook.
I
That's
noticed.
I don't post
But
shit on
those were
Facebook.
funny.
Hey,
I
let's talk
regret
about
that you
that.
keep.
No, you don't.
You looked at my whole life.
You
Just
be
the
okay.
profile pictures.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
Oh, yeah.
He thought he was super cool.
No. I'm
Like he be in
embarrassed.
there vibing the old school Bow Wow and Sierra.
Oh, gosh.
Damn.
Shit, it was around that time anyway.
you?
Yup.
What's that shit? He like,
He used to be standing outside the movie theaters holding his girl, you know what I'm saying? So her parents show up.
shit.
That's what he look like.
Aw.
He's out here wearing the big ass. You ain't wear the big jerseys, did you? The big baseball jerseys?
Nah, I didn't do that shit.
Did you have like the big
I
Eminem jacket?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
Bro.
yeah, the
You
red
see,
star jacket.
I didn't even really wear jackets that much because I live in Florida, so you know it was hot.
It was hot.
Hotter than
That's it? Okay, Oz. Thank you for that. Very much so anticlimactic.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Hey, I could have made it that way, but you would have not liked it, you know.
I mean, it is what it is. There's a lot of stuff that you shut up. So, my week last week was pretty cool. Went to go see Spider-Man. That shit was dope.
It was good.
That shit was good, damn good. So me and the missus, we like that.
You see that?
Watched the fight. Oh my god.
That shit was trash.
Nah, the fight wasn't trash.
No, well, the main event was trash.
When you go back and look at the main event, it wasn't trash. It was just.
I'm talking about as a casual watcher.
Well, that's why. You know me, bro.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like if they trying to bring, if this is what I'm saying for UFC, as like I'm more of a casual watcher. I'm like in between that casual and expert level, like he is. Like I know a couple of things. I'm more than a casual watcher, but somebody who a casual watcher, if they heard all the hype about John Jones or whatever, and they was to watch that fight, they wouldn't be impressed. They would have been like, "What the fuck is this? What's all the?"
Yeah, but somebody like me, like I said, once you break it down, it's like, all right, I see why everything happened. Blah blah blah, yakety schmackety. Yeah, but it was cool. Me and the missus, we watched it, and highlight of the night, right?
Oh shit!
So
that quickie.
Exactly. There's this guy. His name is Jorge Masvidal. He's from Miami, and this nigga's a motherfucking goon. This motherfucker was known for. Remember when Kimbo Slice used to have the backyard videos?
Yeah.
He was fighting in them videos too. He wasn't fighting Kimbo Slice, but he was back there too.
No, that's way two different weight classes.
Yeah. So this guy, he's known for like, yo, I'm not with that bullshit. I don't really, I don't want no problems. I just want to fight. Let me go about my business. And to give you a quick story on how he's really truly with the shits and hood nigga shit. He's in London. Just knocked somebody out. He's at his interview. Live interview at that. It's live. This is on TV, guys. This is live.
That's when he got into it with the black dude? Oh, I seen it.
Yeah, so somebody was talking that flim flam. So your man, he was like, hold on a second. He walks over there to the dude, hands behind his back, like, what you say, da-da-da. Came back, bop, bop, bop. He said, yeah, I had to give him the 3 pieces and the biscuit. I was like, ooh, shit. I said, yeah, he with the shits. So,
the biscuit.
Exactly. Fast forward.
Yeah, the Popeyes biscuit.
Oh, yeah. Choke. Gave him a choker. No honey on that shit. Hey. So, there's this other guy who he just fought recently. His name is Ben Askren. Ben Askren is, you remember like high school wrestling, college? He's one of those guys. He's just, he's a wrestler. Doesn't really have much hands, but he'll wrestle the shit out of you, and probably choke you out of some weird shit. Cool. This man is known for being on internet and just talking shit. Like shit, just really talking shit. So he was just talking shit to Jorge the whole time. Just talking shit for like months. Talking shit to him. And Jorge's like, yo, just keep it up. I'm gonna fucking break your face. Like, I'm not playing with you. He's like, yo, you keep talking this shit. Like, you not really like that. Like, you talk shit on the internet and all that shit, but when we see each other or something like that, then you want to be cool and you trying to be blah, blah, blah. Like, nah, I'm not with that shit. And you out here talking about my family and all that shit. Like, all right, I'm going to see what's up. Get to the fight, right? Now, Josh almost fucked it up for me.
Of course.
Stop watching that illegal cable, nigga.
Don't worry about what I do. Don't worry about what I do, piece of shit. So, he calls me. He's like, oh, yeah, rah, rah, rah. Like, what the fuck? Oh, no, something happened. I don't know. Whatever.
Oh, well, you got to give him this, because I was at the bar watching the game.
Lenny, what's up?
Had other streams of media to watch the
I mean, I could have went to the bar, but I was like...
But I was watching it live. His was delayed, like, about 30 seconds, maybe.
Give it a sec. Maybe 10.
10 to 30, somewhere around there. So when I see something, I see it well before he sees it. So I had called him before he seen the actual... what he's about to tell you happened. So,
he calls me. I'm just like, I hang up the phone. So I'm like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. I don't want to hear about that shit. So, they in the octagon. Fight ain't even started yet. Boy Jorge's on one side. Ben Askren's on the other side. Shit. Right? The shit. Yeah. The shit. Woo! Woo! The shit! So, motherfuckers, Jorge got his hands behind his back. So sit here like, all right. Ding, ding, ding. Shit starts. The boy kind of runs. He runs at him. Jorge runs at him. Throws a flying knee. Knocks your boy out. Comes back down with 2 more punches. Bang, bang. He's out already. Knocked this man out in 5 seconds.
Oh.
Man, talk all that flammery. I hope somebody can somebody can pull it up real quick so that
I was trying to find it.
Oh my goodness.
He looked like a little baby.
He looked like a baby. Yo.
He made fun of him.
No, it's not.
By dropping on
That shit was hilarious.
That shit
Hey, look, ain't nothing sad about that. Because that
I need to learn how to fucking.
Oh, you found it?
Yeah. But it's like from a cell phone.
Oh,
Okay.
that's good enough.
Oh, hold on. I missed it. Damn.
Thank you. Exactly.
It's hilarious.
That's how fast it was.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, he talking shit. Oh, damn.
Exactly.
Total
He really
knockout.
wanted to put his knee on him too,
Yo,
dog. Like his whole body went over him as he beat him.
The
That's
funniest thing
insane.
she just said was,
Okay.
"Oh, he talking shit."
Like he got down and did the count. No worries, I got you, ref.
Exactly.
It's over.
Hold on. And see, this is just a better look at it. This is just way better. Look at that. Look at this. This is the whole thing.
I'm little.
Oh yeah, he got the official. That's the official.
Yeah, just look at that. Just look. I want to see her
Wow.
Exactly.
You should have did the Stone Cold to him while he was down there.
Oh, and he gangstered off. He didn't just walk off, bro. He
Yes.
limped off, dog.
Yes.
That's unfortunate.
No, it's not.
That baby neck was stiff.
Bruh.
I thought he was dead.
Like, you know what I love about
was
that?
dead. Like,
Oh,
is he alive?
Joe's
outside.
Oh shit.
Oh, can somebody? Oh, I
Tag
can.
you in.
Oh shit.
Yeah, go get Joe. Real
Come
quick.
on, man. Gotta get Joe.
But
Rogan.
I got Josh.
Joe Slogan.
Yeah, exactly right. So this was the crazy thing about. Like I said, man, bruh, you can't.
No, it wasn't the main event, Lenny.
No, it was not the main event. That was like the.
That was like two.
And that was the
might
main
fight
event.
before,
I would
yeah.
feel
Fight
so
before.
bad.
Yeah.
Because the two main events was Amanda Nunes and
John Jones. Yeah. So, bruh,
That's crazy.
this is what I got from that. Right. Don't talk no shit, cause real niggas is about it. This is the crazy part. After the fight, right? It was like you had people talking about, oh, we felt like some people might have felt like all the celebrating and the trash talk afterwards was excessive.
What about all the trash talk before?
And I'll get to that. And then it was like, oh, and don't you think maybe you hit him a little bit too many times?
Nope.
Nah.
What's up, Joe? Go ahead and get a chair,
Attitude ref
dog.
come back. Hey, Joe.
He's like, don't you think you hit him too many times? He's like, no, my job is to keep hitting him until the ref stops me.
The ref was like, continue.
That's the yeah.
I mean, in that case, the ref just couldn't get over there fast
No,
enough. He
either.
gave you too much
No.
space.
No, the ref had to pick up the control and move it over to
The ref was ready.
That whole situation is the classic
The
case.
ref was like, oh, shit.
That's a classic case of don't let your mouth write a check. That
Your ass getting cash. Yes. Yes. That's
What's the
what
name?
it
Ed
is.
Aspen?
Aspirin.
Don't be asking for nothing.
Well, Ben,
Oh, don't be asking for nothing.
been asking for an ass whooping.
yeah.
He got that. Lord Jesus.
He got that in spades.
On the bright side, he didn't feel the last two punches.
And the crazy thing is, he
Yeah.
said they asked him what happened. He said he didn't remember nothing after the bell rang.
Oh.
He didn't remember
Yeah.
All he remember waking up was in the hospital.
Oh.
That's horrible.
That's crazy.
Don't awe him. Fuck him. Bruh. It was funny because I'm watching this shit with T. This is the funniest part. Look, it happens. I'm like, oh shit! I said, oh shit! What happened?
She probably fucked around and blinked and was like,
That's why
She
we
was rubbing her
damn.
She said, I was rubbing my eye. I
That
said,
was
oh man,
That's
baby.
embarrassing as hell.
I said, look here, baby.
You just missed
you missed probably one of the best
embarrassing as
knockouts.
hell.
fastest knockout in UFC.
Knockouts like that is why
History.
niggas started picking up guns. They didn't want to be embarrassed when they got back around their homies, dog.
I see that. Yeah.
Like-
Where's Chris tucking them when you need him, you know?
You got
Okay.
knocked out. Fuck out.
Sheesh.
Exactly, man. So it was,
Word of caution. Don't be talking trash to get your sales up for him, please.
yeah, it was straight.
But the thing is, that dude who got knocked out, he was undefeated before that.
Yep, he was.
Took
Well,
his first L.
all things come to an end.
You're right about that.
Well, this was the biggest thing. Like he had another fight on UFC. His first fight in the UFC. It was crazy because this motherfucker, he came out there and he was getting punched and shit. He tried to lock up with somebody. This nigga picked him up, dumped him on his head, and then got beat up a little bit. The fight should have been over, but I don't know. For some odd reason, he got back in it. They said he put, remember like the old school little bulldog chokes and shit from back in the day, like he did on the schoolyard or some shit. He put him in that shit, and the man's hand just went limp for like a second. They were like, "Oh, he's out." He was like, "No, I was still awake, but fuck it, it is what it is." Mm-hmm. So your boy was talking shit since then, talking about, "Oh, is that the best you can give me?" And it was like, "Well, since it was kind of a little controversy with that win, you want to run that fight back?" Nah, I don't want to do that. Like, wait, what? Like, bruh, don't talk shit then. Like I said, I'm a firm believer in don't talk that shit if you're not really about it. Like, it's some real motherfuckers in the world, whether they fight, whatever they doing, like fighting, basketball, football, anything like that. It's some dudes like, bruh, I'm all about getting my check, but you're not about to disrespect me.
I just appreciated that he kept it within the rules, right? So it wasn't like I'm gonna wait for the bell to ring. I'm gonna follow all the rules. So when I get to that ass, it's legit. I can appreciate that.
Bruh, I can appreciate that too.
Yeah.
But that shit was, that shit was probably
I was in a bar, man. The whole bar was like, oh, it was like a collective, oh, shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck just happened?
Hey, it'd be like,
no, if he walk up with his hands behind his back, run.
It'd be just like that episode of, what's the day? Chappelle's show where they was doing like the N1 shit for everything. So he was playing baseball and all that shit. People were like, oh, shit. Like, that's exactly.
Speaking of N1, that, I don't know if y'all seen. I mean, Floyd, that's my guy, but he got his ankles broke by that nigga.
Yeah, I saw that shit, dog.
Oh man, he broke that Floyd. Floyd like, my bank account still good though.
Yeah, but your ankles not, bro. You need to buy some.
Exactly.
Your ankle soles got taken.
Exactly.
Buy some titanium ankles, dog.
Exactly. Nobody give a fuck about. I can't stand that nigga, man. Hey, Joe.
How's your week, Joe?
What's going on?
What's up, man? How was your week, man?
Oh.
Damn it, Joe.
Ask me a question late. I said, hey, Joe. Then you stop. I said, I'm good. My week was good. I was out of town on business.
Yeah.
For the most of the week. What's today? Thursday? Yeah. For the week. So that was interesting, And I was a good boy. And
I was a good boy.
I was a good boy.
Good boy.
I can't.
And,
I'm not fucking with you.
Be good nigga. Be good nigga now.
Happy don't cheat. But anyway.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm not needing to clap for. But yeah, it was good seeing the children helped out a lot. That was good. Made going to work easier. Okay. I really was on vacation this week, but I couldn't take all the days, so that was a good benefit. But I like the way the children came together, and it went pretty well. Ate out every day, so
really,
I didn't cook anything this week whatsoever.
I mean, you don't have anything.
Did you try some new dishes? Did you go out anywhere?
I didn't make some new. Just whatever they wanted for the night, I just got it.
Well, I know on the side.
I make something. I make like some signature dish that they like me to make, like they like my lasagna. I usually make
you got Joe's famous lasagna?
Yeah.
I know you had some good lasagna. I know you had that lasagna.
I rub each layer with some special sauce.
Whoa, I don't know if I want to I want that special meat sauce he got.
Everything that I do, but the lasagna particularly, yes. If I have whiskey, I put some. You're wild. But yeah, they like that. I usually make that or the steak. They like the Alizé steak I make.
Hold up. Alizé steak?
I kind of marinate the steak in Alizé sauces and sauces the meat real nice and cut it and it's like butter.
Ooh. Oh shit!
They like that. So I just didn't
like
cook
butter, baby.
All my free time, I was just dealing with baby stuff. But he cooperated as well. So I appreciate this week, and it was a blessed week. Basically, a lot of busy in the beginning, a lot of things had to come together, but it was great.
Okay, that's what's up. Cool. So first thing on the docket. Well, since it's really, really, really fresh, and I just wanted to get this out of the way. Your boy Russell Westbrook's going to the Rockets. So it literally just happened, probably 20 minutes ago.
Oh, I saw a meme. I thought it was a joke.
No, that's official. He's
That to me, I'm gonna be honest, just on my sports shit, that don't make no sense to me. I guess
that don't make sense for OKC.
It don't make sense for the Rockets either, for the fact that
Would they give up?
no,
CP3.
I'm talking about this. Yeah, it was a straight up trade.
Yeah,
contract for
I know
and draft picks.
You know why it makes sense? Because CP3 and Harden just don't get along. So it's like
no, I honestly, I'm saying from a basketball standpoint because if you look at the usage rate,
yeah,
James Harden was number one. Guess who number two was? Russell Westbrook. They need the ball in their hand to be successful. It ain't but one basketball. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be interesting. I've never seen Russell Westbrook let somebody else dribble like James Harden just dribble, and I can't see Westbrook just standing to the side waiting to get past the ball. He's never played like that. He's always had the ball in his hand and created things, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Same thing with James Harden. So I don't. It'll be interesting to see how
they both need this.
You're right, Lenny. Ain't nothing changed for the Rockets.
They both need this, but it's upgrade. It's an upgrade though.
It is.
Yeah, it's an upgrade over Chris Paul. I just think it's a sec. To me, it's you paying these niggas making $40 million. You paying two people $40 million for second round playoff exit.
Damn.
Because let's face it, the Clippers gonna be nice. The Lakers gonna be nice.
The Clippers
Utah still got Golden State.
Yep.
I mean, I don't see where they fit in.
Let's go ahead and throw. You already said. You said the Nuggets yet?
I ain't even say the Nuggets.
Oh,
I didn't get there.
Let's throw them in. You still got the Trailblazers. Say what the fuck you want
so
about them.
like,
Ain't still a problem. Like I said, it's about to be real interesting. Like this is the first time in a long time the league looks somewhat even for the most part. Maybe not so much on the East.
No, definitely not on the East. The West is loaded.
But this is the thing though. We know now, like it's one of those situations where you kind of look at LeBron like, "Hey, bro, you sure you don't want to go back to the East? You sure you don't want to go back to the Cavaliers? Because you got a guaranteed shot to make it to them. Oh, wait up, you got to see Giannis Antetokounmpo. Never mind. Never mind. Oh, wait up, you got to see Joel Embiid. Never mind.
If he healthy, he'd be.
Yeah, he'd be
healthy. Stop being Taco Bell.
I mean, Taco Bell's awesome. Gives you free diarrhea.
Taco Bell gives you wings.
What?
Okay.
All right, but you know that's just. What y'all had first on the list? I just wanted to get that out of the way, so I'm like, yo, that's some breaking news.
I got a lot of things I got on the list.
Oh shit, lay it on me, champ.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start off,
champ.
with the whole Little Mermaid fiasco.
Yeah, let's talk about that shit.
No, I didn't want to get it. No. I thought I was over with that for the week.
Nah, bro. Shit.
I'm trying to figure out what's the girl name? Haley Berry.
Haley Berry, basically. Not Holly.
Haley Berry. They say she got a dope ass voice too. So
both her and her sister. Yeah.
But I guess people are upset because she's gonna play Ariel in the new
live action Little Mermaid.
That's a select group.
And a lot of people are upset that a black female is playing the lead for a fictional character about a mermaid that don't even exist. I can't understand it. It's just stupid to me. Like,
bruh, I don't understand it. These like motherfuckers is really mad.
They're really mad. Like motherfuckers, like I ain't taking my kids to see that. That's not the Ariel I remember.
I'm like, bruh. Like, okay, that's that. Like, bruh, what you
it's
so
a fucking mermaid in a fictional story? Who cares?
Exactly. Like, it'd be different if they're like, yeah, we're gonna get her to play Mulan. Like, bro, Mulan's supposed to be Asian, so I can understand that.
And Mulan is actually based on a true story. It's not.
Listen,
and that's all I was gonna say. I'm pretty sure that was
how they tell
true.
it, but it's based on.
I mean, nobody said shit when they did Brandy as Cinderella.
But that wasn't a major. Like, it didn't hit the movies. It was, and it was by. Was it Roger?
Nobody said anything. When that Dragon Ball Z movie came out, they had a white Goku. I ain't hear no fucking uproar.
What are you talking about?
Nah, it was some uproar. It was a lot of uproar.
Oh,
from the nerds. It was trash. From the nerds.
But that movie was trash.
But still,
the nerds was mad, bro.
It got whitewashed.
Oh wait.
Like, this is crazy.
What about Gods of Egypt? All right, let's say shit about that.
No, actually,
everyone said shit.
We did.
No, I mean,
walked out.
We did, but like now the other parties getting mad, you know.
Well, my thing is they get mad over something.
Conversation. That's real history.
Yeah,
exactly. And that's what I'm saying.
Right.
And like
Rupert Murdoch produced.
They've had a history of whitewashing a lot of things, and it's like a lot of factual things too. When you look at some of this stuff, like even when back in the day when they had your boy Yul Brynner playing, what was he, like Pharaoh or some shit? It's like, what is
Do you know where
Yul
Yul
Brynner?
Brynner's from?
Where is he from?
He's Russian.
Oh,
Kazakhstan.
There you go.
Triple G.
There you go. Because I was like, I know he's not. I know he's not of any type of middle. I thought he was Asian for a minute.
Well, that's why look. In Kazakhstan, they have that Asian look,
Okay.
and they have that mixed together,
Yeah.
that Mongolian.
Nothing against him though. I mean, great actor.
No, he's great. He looked closer than motherfucker Sigourney Weaver did as a queen, right? At least he looked a little bit
Weaver as a
believable.
queen.
Well, I didn't even know
That
that.
was
That's
hard.
so good. Oh, wow.
Sigourney Weaver was like a pharaoh, a prince, a queen of fucking Egypt.
Wow.
But at least Yul Brynner had to be like, all right. He has a tan. He has Asiatic eyes.
Okay.
I don't fuck with him. Like,
Okay, but the Sigourney Weaver
like
shit.
maybe his
that was
maybe
too
his
late.
mama was Asian.
Okay.
His
Yo,
father
kid
was
is
black.
dying over
Like
here.
it could have been like that.
Yo,
But
kid
Sigourney Weaver, no.
dying right now.
I just can't. Sigourney Weaver playing a fucking Egyptian queen.
It was horrible.
That
I
was
spit up.
terrible.
Oh,
A
Cast.
little bit. Just
all the way.
oh.
I just imagine
Baby.
like how much sunblock do you need to? I don't know.
Put an SPF 100 on.
SPF 1000.
The whole Nile basin.
It's
SPF levels 9,000.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I believe what they said. I mean, they heard her audition and she killed it. I mean, if you listen to her voice, like, I mean, I'm not an Ariel fan. I never even knew the premise of the movie until just now, until like recently. But I have heard the songs and her voice is a dead-on match. Like,
I'm just wondering.
her voice is an instrument by itself.
I'm wondering who the rest of the cast is gonna be though.
They better have a purple bitch playing Ursula.
Who gonna be the Jamaican crab?
Be
Well,
Anyway.
anybody.
Watch, no. Watch it be like
Should be red or white girl.
Nah, I know exactly.
right. They can't fuck that up. If they
Bruh,
fuck the
they gonna
crab
get
up,
they gonna
I'll
get
be
fucking
mad.
what's his name? He doing Wolf. They gonna get dude who's he's doing Timon and Pumbaa and shit or whatever. It's gonna
Seth Green.
be, yeah, not
Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen.
Yeah, they gonna probably get like a Seth Rogen or some weird
Nah,
shit.
Terry
Zach
Crews.
Galifianakis?
Yeah, they probably will. And this instead of him like, yeah, man, ha ha ha.
I want
Like,
to see
bro, what the fuck is
Valentine's
this?
at.
Nah, man, you gotta
Wait, what?
pick somebody.
Would you Valentine?
Would you?
Why?
Shit.
Buju Banton.
He's a Jamaican crab, right?
Yeah, I know, but why?
Who did it before? You know who did it before, right?
Who?
I
Same. I think it's the same guy who does Hermes off of Futurama.
Oh yeah. I can see that.
I don't think it is, but we can see.
That
It's
sound-
either somebody.
I can see that.
It's one
I
of
can
those
see that.
motherfuckers.
I can see that.
Who did it? I'm gonna look it up. Shit.
That do kind of sound. It do kind. Now that I
might
think
be.
about it, it do kind of sound like
He's been a lot.
It might be right.
Like, what you talking about, dog?
You know who I think would have made it funny, but he's not here anymore? Charlie Murphy.
Charlie Murphy.
Wait,
He
what?
would have made it funny. Like,
Wait,
I don't know how his
yeah,
accent would have
yeah,
probably
yeah.
been horrible, but it would
Nah,
have
he
been
was
fucking
like-
hilarious.
He's like, yeah,
I
man,
agree with
motherfucking Ariel, man. Yeah, motherfucker.
He sounded crab though.
Yeah, he does. Like,
Yeah,
it's
like a
like,
human crab.
it's
You
so
gonna
comical.
yo, go
Like,
up there and suck that nigga's dick.
What?
What is this?
Nigga like, yo, they better.
why you get legs so you can open them?
He like, yo, girl, you better not let these motherfuckers catch me. You know the humans gonna throw me in the pot
Lord.
alive and shit. You want me to die like that?
Fuck a bitch.
Eric.
You go like, you fucking bitch. Like, yo, what is this?
Never mind.
Like, it's a family show. It's supposed to be rated PG. What is this?
He's like,
Is it?
This the director's cut.
but yeah,
The Little Mermaid.
That'd be-
Straight to
I also
DVD.
appreciate the
Extended
original, the person that did the original voiceover, like her standing behind Haley Bailey and stuff like that. Like, that was cool of them. So,
But you know the sad part to say? She like, guys, stop being racist and do that. These motherfuckers, and I don't want to keep saying who it is.
I'm gonna tell you who I've been seeing in the comments who it
white
is.
and black people. I've seen
Yeah.
black people say, you know what, I want my Ariel to
Why
be
would,
white,
why
redheaded
would you
as
want to see
well.
who it is?
No, I'm saying I've looked at the comments and I would say 90% of them were of the Caucasian ethnicity, and probably Trump supporters because they always be like,
Was there ever any?
because you know why I say they Trump supporters? Because when I read the comments, they always say, "Oh, this the liberals trying to put their democratic agenda on the world and make everything." They always use people always try to
when they say
politicize
liberal
everything
or
and make it the
extreme
liberals
left,
and the
extreme
conservatives.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
Those are code words. Before they say use liberals, they should say nigga lovers, right?
Yeah,
So it's just
I
code
agree.
words.
I agree.
Some, you know, just that, you know
Yeah.
who's mad about it.
Yeah.
But
Nigga loving socialists is what it. Yeah,
Like, she
that's
said-
what they really want.
Lady
We
said
need-
she threw her DVD
we
in the
need
trash.
we need 10 Ariels
hurting.
for Sigourney Weaver playing
Yo, you stupid.
Man, I
At
ain't
least
even know
10
that.
movies like that.
I ain't even know that shit. That's
Damn.
You
crazy.
deserve 10 just for that one
Not 10.
role. At least 10.
At least 10? Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
at least 10.
Now we gotta get
Snow White gotta be black.
we gotta get your girl Bridget
That
Nielsen.
make no sense.
Bro, we
Bridget
not
Nielsen.
Snow White gotta be
How
black.
Snow White
Bro.
go be black?
We not about
I ain't
to
gonna get into this with the word white. I ain't gonna get into Don't do that. I'll be here all day.
Yeah, don't do that.
What white
Oz.
really means.
Don't do
Go
that,
ahead.
Oz.
Bro, you need crack.
Don't do that, Oz.
Oz on that Snow. See,
Snow White cocaine.
I mean, they did
starting-
have.
I
I
instigate.
had
Yes,
seen
I'm
someone
starting shit,
share. It was like an HBO series. I think it was like Fairy Tales with a Twist, and they would show like
Oh, yo, I used
all
to
the
love
with
that.
the different.
I used to love
So
that.
all I had was the antenna cable.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it came on
and,
HBO.
and books, so I never
Shit
knew
was
about that.
hardcore.
That's all I had.
UHF.
Yeah. So
Jeez.
but I thought it was super cool when I saw it. I was like, oh, that's dope. Like
I remember seeing it because it would come on like 6 or 7 in the morning or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
see, around that time I'd be
yeah.
catching Arthur on Channel 5 because that's the only thing that worked. Followed by that
Hey,
weird lady who used to
Arthur!
do the yoga
No, that's Hey Arnold.
Yeah.
in the morning.
At 6 a.m.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Arthur.
That shit is hard. It's
ADW, you bitch.
I just wonder, like, if the roles was damn, bro. If the roles was reversed and they had like a live action, Princess and the Frog or whatever. Is that what the movie was with the
Yeah.
black girl?
Mhm.
And they had a white girl playing the fucking princess in a live action movie. Would they feel had the same energy as the black girl playing Ariel in Little Mermaid?
No.
Probably not.
No, they would not. I don't even know why you even asked that.
Wasn't
No, I'm just saying, it's just a rhetorical.
I mean,
thing.
but we wouldn't either. We'd be like, so what if it's a fictional character? Put a black person in it.
Ooh, I see what you did there.
If it was anybody other than a white person playing in Black Panther.
Oh yeah, because somebody's like, yo, what if they had a white dude playing Black Panther? I'm like, no, that wouldn't work because we already have something canon to that. They was like, well, the Little Mermaid's kind of canon. I'm like, yeah,
Wait,
but
can't.
canon meaning like it's already established, like
Oh.
it's something already established.
Yeah, Little
Well,
Mermaid is established.
It is, but
I
I'm
go
like,
far as to say,
but you can't do a white person for Black Panther when a movie is set in this certain setting,
Well, I think-
which is Little Mermaid. You can do that with anybody. It doesn't
Well, I
have to
think-
be a white
I
chick.
think
It's
they
set,
said it
I'm
was off
assuming
the
it's set in
top.
the ocean.
Yes,
Yeah,
there's
Little
no
Mermaid.
race in that.
So is
ocean.
it
and,
race?
and it's about
I mean,
unreal.
yes,
Well,
because
technically-
fish are different colors.
But
so-
technically,
Oh god,
but
absolutely.
but technically, King
Not only that,
Triton
but
is
mermaids
Poseidon.
aren't real.
what? What
Yeah,
is
it's like that.
King Triton is technically Poseidon.
Well, I mean, he's a human
The
though.
princess and the
King
frog.
Triton, her dad is Poseidon, essentially.
But yeah,
So that means they're Greek.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, listen,
But
I've
they-
seen
they-
so
I mean,
many
they changed
arguments.
it.
I've seen Ocean in the Atlantic that's outside of Africa, so she's supposed to be black. I done see. I'm like, y'all doing too fucking much.
Too merch. Y'all doing too merch.
And that's
Too
why I
much.
continue to say social media is the greatest the internet in general, but in particular social media is one of the greatest gifts and curses to humankind all at the same time.
Yeah,
Yep.
but I also think like sometimes we fail to realize that we can control what we see on our social media. Like if it's something I don't want to see, all I have to do is hide the post 3 times, and nothing pertaining to that subject comes back across my timeline.
Yeah, but it's easier for people to sit back and type shit, but there's some things that they wouldn't say in a public speaking forum or to somebody's face, and that's, people can sit there
Oh, you
on their
mean
phone.
like interacting with each other?
Yeah,
Oh,
interacting
yeah.
or giving their opinions.
Yeah, I don't
It's
interact
easier to
with
do that
people
on your
on
phone
social
or on a laptop
Yeah.
when you're not pressured to say something in public in front of people, you know what I'm saying?
You know how that motherfucker doing.
Yeah,
They talking
all I
shit.
do is
But I
share
like
funny
that. I
shit,
like
so.
that though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just
I
saying,
personally
like,
like that. Just tell the truth.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, tell the truth. Because I mean, if you see me in person, you ain't gonna say it.
right. They don't have the same energy when they see you.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't
So
even
I might
have
hit you
emotions
with
on
it.
that. I mean, I expect it.
Damn.
Oh,
What?
shit.
Damn what?
You
What? That's what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about today, because of that sentiment right there.
What you talking about?
Because the idea that people don't expect it,
Yeah.
and if you say you expect it, it's like
Oh, I mean, they don't
Don't
expect any
expect what?
retaliation
Don't
in real
expect-
life
don't
when they
expect
set this
that-
shit on the
don't-
internet?
don't expect certain behaviors of certain people. I expect those behaviors from certain people, so I don't
I expect it if I've seen it from them before, but I try not to form opinions about people if I don't know them.
put it like
And I don't
this.
know people on social media.
Not everybody. I'm saying that I can tell off top with a few quick back and forths where you stand,
Oh well, yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
that. So if I see it, I can say, hey, that's a demographic of people that would hold these opinions, right? And it's not emotional about it. It's just what it is. It's reality,
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a conversation. But yeah. So what's the next one?
I really want to talk about this Epstein guy.
I was about to bring that up too.
Yeah.
All right, fill me in on that one because I've been late on this.
So for one,
This motherfucker.
he definitely has not been publicized as much as Bill Cosby or R. Kelly. That's for sure.
Okay.
He 100 times worse.
And the man bought a fucking island.
They called it pedophile
And they call
island.
it pedophile island.
Oh,
it's an
shit.
entire island. St. James Island
shit.
in the
All
Virgin
for those
Islands. He
same
bought the
times.
island.
I can see it from where I'm from.
Hold on.
Shit wild as fuck.
Hold on. Is it literally called?
It's St. James Island, but amongst
locals.
people,
yeah,
the locals.
and the people that have gone there and have heard about it, they call it pedophile
So you know how they
island
have,
or
like, Fantasy
island
Island?
sin.
I'm from the Virgin Islands.
Or-
I can see the island from where I'm from.
So,
Like they
Not
ask,
like
like they say that's the dark side, basically. Like that's how they refer to it.
So you remember the show Fantasy Island? Is
Yeah.
it like that, but just with a bunch of
US Virgin
pedophilia?
Islands, though.
I mean, I
There
don't
was
know
one
what
main
it's like
pedophile
on
who was
there.
flying in
But
underage girls.
they say he bought it, he cleared out all the vegetation, put up 2 huge American flags on either end of the island, and built his little
Sex
palace or whatever you want to call
Sex
it. And
island.
apparently some very powerful people have been there.
Like
Bill Clinton. The young lady said she never saw him have sex with anyone, but she saw him there 3 or 4 times between 02 and 05, I believe. His rep, of course, denied it, but
yeah, of course.
yeah, I'm baffled. Like even the way, so when he was originally charged,
Okay.
Oh, this shit get
I
deep.
think this was in Florida. He had to register as a sex offender, right? But he had residences in New Mexico, New York, and the Virgin Islands.
Yeah.
Multiple residences, right?
Okay.
He only had to register in Florida.
Mm.
New Mexico, he didn't have to register because the person that they actually charged him for was 17, and there, that's the age of consent, so
Yeah.
that's fine there. Virgin Islands, a whole other thing. So he only really had to register in Florida and was like, I'll just kick it elsewhere. It's cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, who the fuck?
Shit wild.
Then he would
How
have
the
worked
fuck?
Hold on. Let's take it a step further.
Shit
The
wild.
U.S. District Attorney of Florida at that time is our current Secretary of Labor,
Well,
who let him off the hook, gave him a sweetheart deal, and gave him
yeah.
probation for being a registered sex offender.
Registered. Because they said that what he got charged.
Now the
person he got
Congress gonna
charged
put him under
for
investigation
was
right now
17.
as we speak.
But recently, as of recently today, like this morning,
Mhm.
there are still girls coming forward that aren't from like the 02, 05 that he's about to be on trial for. These are new girls
Oh wow.
in New York and Florida. So
Oh, wow.
it's about to
And don't forget about the boys.
Violent.
Don't forget about the boys, which is never really discussed. Boys are flown in. For one,
Lord, God damn it.
for one,
Way to lay a bomb on this joke.
for one, whenever they bring in the girls, they bring in the boys. That's for
I mean,
sure.
I
Just know that.
I don't assume.
No.
I don't never
What,
assume.
why?
I don't care.
What's
I don't-
his assumption stuff?
I was
Well,
doing
yeah, when
that.
you
I
bring
mean,
in-
no, I'm saying like I don't want to assume that they're doing that also. Like if
It's
something
not,
happens,
it's not an assumption in those circles. When
I
you bring
guess
in-
I don't know. Look, I don't run in those
I'm
circles.
telling you facts. I'm telling you facts.
I would
telling
hope
you-
that you haven't seen that stuff.
I haven't. It's not about me
Okay.
seeing it. It's not about that. But like I said, like for example, I told you about my homegirl who's a lawyer,
Yeah.
sex crimes in Jersey. I know about when you have these pedophile rings. When you have Dateline NBC, right? They had boys and girls, right? It wasn't just girls.
Oh, you talking about the catch a predator
Yeah,
shit?
it was boys and girls. It's not just going to be one gender ever. So it's not an assumption of any type. When you have hundreds of people being brought in, and this person is a pilot, a financier, and a pilot. So his own plane, Lolita,
yeah, he worked billions.
he has a manifest with Clinton going in there 100 times to that one island. So because when you fly somebody on your private plane,
with
their
Secret
name,
Service.
their name has to be on the motherfucking register with Donald Trump, with other people who are prominent. He also has the largest residential house in the whole city of New York.
Bro, he got
71,000.
That's crazy, bro.
71,000 square feet, the largest in New York. So, own plane, own island, biggest house in New York. All these people are around, but it's like I said before, when there's certain people with certain complexions, you don't hear the noise from other organizations. You hear like Oprah's not interviewing him.
Of course.
Right. Gail's not interviewing him. The people, they're not interviewing Clinton, right? And this is far worse and far more endemic than what Now, R. Kelly, everybody who supported him was, as far as in his circle, it's horrible. But again, it pales in comparison to what this person does and what they do in Thailand, bringing 5-year-old boys to the bed, 3-year-old boys to the bed. In Malaysia, there's 30 fucking airlines going to Malaysia for a little ass fucking island. Why? You understand? Like, this is why I'm saying. Like, this shit goes on all the fucking time, but the face of sexual predators that they push in front of you every day. Like, we heard Kylie was every day, R. Kelly was every day, but these people are not every day. You didn't even hear about them.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't hear about it.
Yeah.
I think what it is, as we go deeper into this investigation, I'm wanting to know if Epstein is gonna flip and be like, hey, well, this shit bigger than Nino Brown. You know what I'm saying?
That's a part of it, right?
Shit
That's
bigger
a part
than
of
Nino
it. You
Brown.
know what I'm saying?
He gonna be like, that nigga Trump is nasty as fuck. He was there too.
That nigga
What you
Clinton.
saying? I'm a product of my environment.
Everybody, what the fuck he talking about?
That skinny ass nigga.
Yeah.
So my thinking is, because the dude's name is Alexander Acosta, the U.S. District Attorney, who our current Secretary of Labor. Yeah. Maybe he had some kind of dirt on him. Maybe he was involved in some shit. For him to get off like that, yeah, I have to think that if he had some kind of dirt on people to get away with shit like that for so long, people was involved in whatever nasty shit he had going on, and so they allowed him to turn. They just as guilty, even if they wasn't fucking the young girls. They knew what they were there for. A grown ass man in his 40s got 12 to 15-year-olds in his house.
I'm about to say Michael Jackson got
trouble. Who the fuck? I mean,
you turning a blind eye to it. You're just as guilty as he is.
Michael Jackson got in trouble.
Exactly. Yeah. Are you bypassing customs with these planes? I don't know.
But if it's a private plane, do you have to?
Yes, you do.
Oh, okay.
You still have to go to customs. Customs comes on the plane.
Oh, okay.
But like,
make sure you ain't transporting drugs and shit.
Yeah, they still come to the plane. So then, Acosta claims that the previous district attorney didn't even want to file any fucking charges against them. He at least wanted him to go to jail for a year, but his jail sentence was.
So, but they
said he was allowed to leave his cell.
There should be like emails or something between him and the district attorney in that state, though. If that was the case, right?
Say what?
There should be proof of that. That he wanted more than, and he, like, you know what I'm saying, that he was trying to get more. There should be proof of that.
Yeah, there should be proof. I mean, I'm gonna go on what he says, but what I do know is fact is that when he was in jail for a year, he got out 12 hours a day in work release.
Doing what? He a millionaire.
Good question. 12 hours a day in work release, and every day for the whole like 9 months, and then he had. After that, he was on like. And
to take it a step deeper, it's federal law that you have to inform the victims of the deal that you offer to the defendant. They didn't even tell the defendants about the deal. It's like, here's the deal. We're gonna keep it on the hush hush. They ain't even tell nobody that shit.
I have just as much hate for him as I do for anybody like him. Absolutely. And I feel like he needs to be put under a jailhouse, and all of his millions, billions, or whatever it is, needs to be distributed to the victims.
Mm-hmm.
So what about what about the other people who are on his manifesto? Like this is why this is far more.
That applies to anybody that's a pedophile. They belong under the jail, and their funds need to go to their victims.
But I think the only way they can find, to me, because it was so far. You know, it was like in the early 2000s when this was going on. I think.
Well, that's the ones that they taking on trial for now. But the newer ones that came out like this morning. Mm-hmm. These are children that are like underage.
No, I'm not talking about the children. Oh. I'm talking about the people who was involved.
Okay.
So I'm saying because it was so long ago in the early 2000s.
What about the 80s though?
Well, okay. Well, 80s to 2000s, whatever. Yeah. They're going to need some kind of physical evidence linking them there, and he's going to have to flip. He's going to have to flip and be like, these people were there.
And he's not going to flip, and they ain't giving him something. It'd be foolish, dude.
Because I'm just saying for technology reasons, I mean, you know, it ain't like they had Ring in his house back in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure he had cameras.
Yeah, but at the same time, how did they get Cosby though?
That's why they fucked up. See, they did their shit alone. Should have got the big wigs in.
They
didn't have no evidence with Cosby either. No, like, this shit was gone.
That's just another whole situation.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like, they could probably do the same thing.
And that's, I think the bottom line that people are upset about is just, this is the latest case of people with wealth in power and
worse and worse.
white,
the system.
they don't get the same. They don't get a
That's
fair
always
shake
the
like
case.
everybody else get. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So,
always the case.
Like
so,
if it was
always.
like run of mill one person,
But I feel like even that's
or even
why
an 18-year-old that's
I
looking
don't
at a 17-year-old.
really, I don't see how that can ever really be eradicated
Never will.
without being able to, for at least for one part of it, prevent these wealthy, influential people from being able to monetarily influence politics.
I think
Like I still can't comprehend why it's necessary for, let's just say for people who are running for president or what have you.
Mhm.
I can't comprehend why it's necessary for them to have one person donating millions of dollars to them. Like on any, if you were to look at that from the outside looking in, that's a bribe, dog. Like I don't care how you put it, it's a fucking bribe. Like, and why do you need
and on top of
millions?
that, they don't have to disclose who gave them the money.
Yeah.
And
So we
everybody
don't know
does
who it
it.
is.
Like even with Obama, it was like a really he's a black tech guy. I can't remember his name, but he donated like $3 million to his first campaign.
Yeah.
When somebody donates that kind of money to you, when politicians realize, okay, I need to stay in here, get my little 6-7 figure salary or what have you, have this little power, and this person helped me before. Yes, you are tied to that person. You are not tied to your constituents.
You're not.
Really
I
not.
mean that's politics though. It's been like that.
Yeah, but I think
But
it's
before politics is bullshit. Before big money came in, who are you loyal to? You're loyal to what you can
the
get.
mob bosses. I like them better.
Still mob.
You're still loyal to
I like
somebody
them better.
other than the people.
Yeah,
I think we go back
You know
to
what I'm
mob
saying?
bosses.
Like you go. My father's a politician. I go to these events even after he passed away, and I meet his friends, and I see what they really value. They only value their next move. You know what I'm saying? Like his friends is like one of his people that he was under. He was over him. He showed him the ropes. And he became like first he was the governor of New York. Then he became the head of the New York Stock Exchange. Then he became the head of the Board of Education. So he's just making moves. All they're doing is making moves for their pockets, whether it's an outright donation or it's a position. And each position holds a different pension. So it's like politics. I mean, I've seen my father go through that. Like he thought it was one thing. He was doing policies. He wasn't just talking. He was like writing legislation. So I saw him like get this and like sort of like become disillusioned by it all before this money came into the picture. You know what I'm
So
saying?
I can imagine how it is
I just
now.
feel like when it comes to like, there's no way. Like a part of why this Jeff Epstein, a part of why he's gotten away with it for so long. Like even if he wasn't plastered all over the news or what have you, because even if he was still gonna get away with it.
Yeah.
Still, you know what I'm saying? Like he still. I mean. Why? Because look at how much money you got.
It's not just
who can't be bought with that money.
But it's not just that. It's what I've always been saying. This is normal for them. It's not just that he has money. That they are doing it too.
Yeah.
This is normal behavior. You talking about little? You ain't talking about underage girls. You're talking about little babies being brought in, and this is just, and he's going into war-torn countries. He's going to Kosovo.
Yeah.
He's going into Bosnia. He's flying children out. What do you think Clinton was doing in Haiti?
Who knows?
Hundreds of thousands of children missing. What do you think they're doing in Haiti? What do you think they're doing in Congo? This is why it's not about whether somebody's donating to you. This is common practice. They even have the guy that does PayPal. They have this chemical that's emitted when you make a baby cry. It's filled with.
Talking about Elon Musk.
No, the
What
guy
you
that
say?
no, Elon, the one that does no. He's the other guy for PayPal.
Oh.
It was Elon Musk, but he's the main guy. I forgot his name. But his company is sells this chemical to rich people to help them to reverse age. So they do this for babies. You make a baby cry. You give them harsh conditions, the young people, and when they create this chemical, when they get afraid, they then sell this chemical to rich people.
Bro, this shit sound like Black Mirror.
This is
That
not.
sounds wild.
Look on your. I remember the name of the chemical and the name of the PayPal founder, but this thing really exists, right? So My thing is, this is run of the mill stuff. If it was just about, well, he's rich and he got away with it, that'd be one thing. But the real story is, he flies his own goddamn plane into these countries and pulls his own fucking people out. What do you think is going on the border? Children are missing. Children are getting abused by guards right now. Who the fuck's saying shit about that? You know what I'm saying?
AOC. My dog.
I think. Well, I'm just gonna go
Who's
back
AOC?
to what
Alexandria
Ortiz.
Cortez.
Oh, she's great, but what are they doing about it? It's still happening.
Yeah.
But it's normal, and nobody's. And Gayle King's not interviewing anybody.
That's my
thing. Is like it's like normal for that.
Regardless who's in control, whether there's Democrats or Republicans, some shit is gonna happen. Some shit's gonna go under the rug. Politics ain't gonna change shit.
But they get under the rug.
It's gonna evolve.
They're in cages. Like people I talk about. Oh, if I was alive in slavery, I would have done this. I would have been like Harriet Tubman. People are in cages today.
I'm not disillusioned at all.
People in cages today. Like right now,
I think
no
one of the
bathrooms
to what. Damn.
Yeah, ain't nobody hear that shit. I heard it though. Like he ain't.
I'm not disillusioned at all.
I think one of the turns. I think what you were saying about as far as the money. I was gonna say that.
What'd you say?
It needs to be a law to make the shit transparent. Like the money trail needs to be transparent for the public. Because if you can see who's donating how much to somebody, and you see what that person who donated the money is tied to, then all of a sudden you see legislation that's in favor of the person who's donating money. I think that will in turn show the American public really how politics work, because a lot of people are just blind and go by what politicians say without looking behind, because they're protected by the law where they don't have to disclose where the money or donations come from. They can change legislation without anybody batting an eye. I think if things like that are more transparent, I'm not saying that's the only solution, but I think that's one of the things that can be done as far as all politicians, no matter what brand of office, if you're getting donations, especially big money donations, that needs to be disclosed to the public.
See, my thing is...
Well, that's a part of what Alexandria was pushing for as well.
See, my thing is, right, the issue with anything...
Oh, sorry, but to answer your question, I said I would have gotten good with the massa. That's what I said.
I would hope that.
Listen, somebody got to be a man on the inside, so...
Hey,
my thing...
That's not... That you would not be doing anything inside of what? Go ahead.
But my thing is, you can cut off the head of the snake, but they're always gonna find some way.
Shit like Hydra,
around
right?
it. You know what I'm saying?
It's
like you can fight for them to change this, and then you go out of nowhere discover another loophole.
Of course, there are always loopholes, but what does that mean? Just don't?
No, I'm not saying just don't. I'm just saying how do we stop this whole corruption in general? You know what I'm saying?
I don't think we need to stop it. We need something to fuss about. We need something to, roar about. We just need a couple good wins.
I mean, this is not about stopping anything. This is because really, this is Jeffrey Epstein is about campaign finance reform? No, it's not about campaign finance reform. It's about a deeper culture that exists. Do you know what they called? What's the other guy? The Jewish guy. The other Jewish guy.
So many
There's a lot of
them.
Jewish guys. What are you talking about?
The big producer. What's his name?
Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein. Right. They called him.
I had literally never heard of him until he got in trouble.
They called him the beast in Hollywood. He took the place of Aleister Crowley, who was the head of Satan's Satanic Church. So this guy is known. He had the Lapidas of the world. He had all these people, and they're not going to him because he's sexy, right? Mm-hmm. This is how it works there.
Yeah, it's all about the money.
And the influence and what you can give to the people that's there. So that's why my whole argument with the Bill Cosby case and R. Kelly case. Yeah, standing alone, some of the things they did was not correct. But given the nature of the circles they're fucking in, they were lightweights compared to what really fucking goes on there. In comparison, it's like if you live in a neighborhood, you're the only one playing straight in a fucked up game. You are in hell, right? Mm-hmm. You have to compare it to the overall culture of what the fuck they're exposed to, what they see, and if I see somebody walk out with a 9-year-old fucking boy, but I work out with a 16-year-old girl, I might not see myself as bad as a person with a 9-year-old boy, but I'm still fucked up, right? So it's not about who gives money, because we're on planet Earth. It's always going to be corrupt. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
People want to act like cultures is perfect. There was homosexuality in ancient Egypt. There was all kind of fuckery in Greece. It was never gonna be great, you know. So, but we should speak on the fact that don't act like this shit is not regular. Like what was happening in slavery? You think they wasn't fucking 7-year-old girls in slavery? Think they were just not touching boys when they could do whatever the fuck they want? And this is why I brought up Matthew Borges. Now, at the same time they interviewing R. Kelly. And they have all other fuckery on television. Mm-hmm. This case is going on, Matthew Borges in Massachusetts.
Always do that shit.
Now, tell me what's more interesting to you as a case, right? Lee Polino, a young black 16-year-old boy in Massachusetts, right? Mm-hmm. Goes out on some kind of date with somebody else's girl. This other boy, Matthew Borges, is white. For retaliation for such actions, he sets him up with his people, robs his house, kidnaps him, decapitates him, and takes off his hands, and leaves him by the fucking river. The coroner said that he's not sure if he was alive or dead when they decapitated him and cut off his hands. So the same goddamn time they railing Cosby, who's from Massachusetts, by the way. He's lived there since the 70s. You don't hear nothing about Matthew Borges.
Media.
No, which is my point. The face is the face. But to me, that case was far more diabolical. Talking about 16-year-old boys.
I would be less interested in that case.
I mean, yeah, you gotta look at it, Joe. You're looking at it from a linear standpoint. You're looking at it from media as a business. What's going to sell? A Bill Cosby story about
or some 15-year-old
kid. I mean, it's another murder case.
Who's a minor at that? I mean, who's a minority at that? Like,
right. Well, the Central Park 5 goes against that concept, because those were little boys that raped a white woman. That was all over the news.
Yeah,
but what if a high-profile celebrity did something at the same time?
There was a minority boy killed.
Yeah.
So my thing is, I don't use the word minority because I know what a minority means, but a person of African descent or Moorish descent is beheaded and handcuffed, and you could present that to anybody. If that's not interesting to you, that
in comparison to Bill Cosby, it wouldn't be more interesting.
So compared to an 87-year-old man,
with all those
from 30 years ago,
it wouldn't be more interesting. It wouldn't be more interesting.
I agree. In American public eyes, it would not be more interesting than the Cosby story. I'm sorry.
Not your part.
I'm saying American public.
Not American public eyes. But
who are they selling the story to?
As a black man, right? You're going to say
now. I would do my own individual research as a black man. Like that's fucked up. But I'm talking about as a media outlet to the American public.
So why did Trayvon Martin? If you believe that, why did Trayvon Martin become a worldwide story? But that
wasn't going on at the same time as a high profile celebrity case. That happened as an isolated incident. That's what I'm saying. If that happens during a high profile celebrity, at the same time, they're going to always go to the high profile celebrity.
They can always pull somebody out the fucking woodwork and make them the pariah of the moment. Epstein been doing this shit since the 80s. Understand that. Cosby shit was from the 60s. They didn't know that? My point is that at any moment in time, they could pull somebody up and make them a face of whatever the fuck they want. Cosby wasn't a current event. Neither is Epstein. Neither is Weinstein.
I mean, so Epstein is still doing it, so he's still current.
No. He's not current. He's current. He's still doing it.
Yeah,
he's still out.
So then I gotta ask you. Let me ask you something.
My point is this. None of those guys just started doing none of that shit.
Nope.
So my point is, at any given moment, you could pull somebody out the woodwork and say, "Here, presenting this motherfucker, the worst of the worst for the week." Right? My point is that if you're saying that you could not be made like somebody, you could not be made to feel that story is interesting by anybody's media savvy presentation. I don't believe that.
Wait, what story?
Like anything, because if I could present a sports story to you, and make that shit really interesting because you hear about it over and over and over again. It's like a song on the radio. You hear a song on the radio over and over and over again. So, at some point,
but you can control what you see. Like if I'm not interested, I don't have to look at it.
Right.
You can control what you see.
Not really. You think you can control what you see,
Right.
but here's why you can't, because you cannot get away from certain stories. No matter what you try to do, like he could be in a place where he doesn't hear about Epstein at all. Right?
I mean,
He didn't know about it until we.
Yeah, I didn't know nothing about it.
Exactly. But there are certain stories that you that are so.
Now, which story? Hold on. Now, which story do
can-
you think are the ones that you can't escape from? The high-profile celebrity story, or the isolated murder?
That they put on every platform. Every platform had Cosby.
Okay, now let me ask you a question real quick. So, if the Bill Cosby case is going on,
Yeah, at the same
now
as
this has already been going on, and then a fucking murder happened. It could be gruesome as whatever. While the Cosby story is going on, which story are you think the media is going to? You think they're going to stop talking about Cosby or lower the media coverage on it to talk about an isolated murder?
It's not an isolated murder. My point
How
is,
is it not? Did he kill somebody else?
it's not. Here's why it's not isolated. Isolated murder means just an everyday murder.
No,
My point is-
isolated.
No,
No,
isolated
that's
means
not.
isolated
That's
or
isolated does not mean just an everyday murder. It means
Well,
it was
when
one
you
murder.
say when you say just an isolated murder, you're acting like it's just a regular murder.
No. They're not acting like it
Yeah.
is. I mean, at the end of the
You
day.
say it was an isolated
Well,
murder.
I would say a gruesome murder, not isolated.
Yeah, but I mean,
Isolated murder. But hello, isolated murder is just somebody got shot, somebody got stabbed.
It's still a murder.
But
still a
but
murder,
no,
though.
but it's not just a murder. There are such things as gruesome murder.
Yeah,
That's why
there are.
that's why certain cases get more attention. My point is that I would find it interesting if you heard a story. Now, it's not about not having Cosby on at all, but I would find it interesting that we talked about Trayvon and Mike Brown for a long time, and we wouldn't find it extremely troubling that this young man was beheaded while alive, while when so-called ISIS was beheading people in Iraq, that was all over the fucking news.
And I wasn't interested in that either.
But my point, we're not talking about your interest, right? Talking about interests of the media. My point is that if
okay, wait.
If
If you're
somebody-
arguing that point, then you're gonna make
Because
that
you
point.
just said I find it hard to believe
Yeah,
that you
because-
wouldn't
because the
you
media
wouldn't
is-
be
yeah, because
interested
the media
in
is
what
gonna
the
put out
media is
what they
putting
feel
out.
like.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, media's gonna put out what they feel is sexy.
Right.
And
That's all I'm saying.
The sexy thing is the Bill Cosby because that's
Yeah.
America's dad.
why is that? Put it like
That's
this.
America's dad. Because at the end of the day, nobody knows what was the young man's name.
I had never heard it. I
That's
had
what I'm
never
saying.
heard his name
That-
before.
nobody knows
And when
it.
I read it, I was
So-
like, damn,
Did you
that's
know?
messed up,
Did you know Trayvon Martin before that? He
No,
was
but there
killed.
was
No,
nothing.
and I identified
But
more
there
with
was
the
going on in the
Trayvon
news
Martin
at that
case
time.
than I did with the other one.
Here's my salient point again. If you don't see the fact that they could put up any blackface to you to demonize them, right? At any given moment, things are happening. Like Michael Moore talks about this all the time. When they blanket people with black crime on television, news every day, he said each time they did that, he went back and showed white people doing similar crimes at the same goddamn time. But it's like you could choose and cherry pick what you put out there. My point is that because these cases went back sometimes 30 years ago, this was not news of the day, really, but news that they picked out to say, this is the day we're going to publicly hang these people. And if you guys, as black people, don't see the value in if a black person gets beheaded by a white person, that doesn't galvanize your senses. I don't know what.
Well, we're not. Hold on. We're not saying there's no value in it. We said we didn't know.
But Cosby touching somebody.
Listen, that's not what we saying, Joe.
Why is that more? Let's discuss.
Joe, I think you missed.
Why is that more?
Because I identify more with those victims that were being sexually assaulted than the young man that was beheaded. The reason I identify more with Trayvon Martin or Michael Brown is because those are clear-cut, racially motivated cases to me. When I read the case about Matthew Burgess in Paulino, it sounded like he was a jealous dude who went way fucking overboard. Is he crazy? Yes. Was it racially motivated? I don't know. That wasn't the way they presented it in the news articles that I read. So I didn't identify with it as much as I did with the others. That's it.
And I just want to say, we're not saying that we don't value that the young man was killed. I'm saying a lot of people didn't know that.
It won't be interesting to you.
Well,
I
I said to the American public. I said to me as
that was going on as at the same time.
I said to me as a black man, I would. I said the American public wouldn't find it interesting because the media's job is to sell stories. That's not what I said.
So y'all don't see in your whole life when you watch network news.
I don't watch network news.
I don't watch a lot of
news. You never watched news in your whole life?
I don't watch network news.
I
don't. I read. I don't watch network news. I pick the articles that I watch.
I don't watch network news.
Are you saying that?
Like fishing, man.
I'm about to say, listen, when the news was on cable, I was too young to watch it. I wasn't interested at that time.
I came up with the internet. Like that. I didn't watch it.
Yeah. Maybe it's just me. Nobody here has watched the news.
Bro, I'm gonna keep it funky. The news is not.
I don't watch the news. No.
My point is this.
I don't know anybody. I'm gonna tell you. Only people I know who watch the news is the older generation.
Yeah,
younger people don't watch the news.
How about this?
We can go on our phone and
I feel like this. How about this?
Now.
I can ask my grandmother, does she know anything? She's like, no, I don't know about none of that shit.
Not now. Again,
and, even back then, they show you what they show you.
Not now. But you're not gonna tell me that you wasn't at grandmama's house. She's watching Channel 7 News, and you ain't see it.
No, I left and went.
Never.
Let me tell you. I am 27 years old.
That's impossible.
But when the internet came around, I was still in middle school. In elementary school. By the time I got to middle school, we had internet readily on our phones. Okay. So yeah, grandma was watching it back in the day. But at that time, I was either outside or in bed by the time my grandma watched the 11 o'clock news.
To answer your question, the only thing that was newsworthy that I ever watched, O.J. Simpson.
I used to be like, the news,
and that was because
I'm out.
That was the only thing that was on.
Boring. I was like 7.
That took over everything else. I'm like, I'm gonna keep it funky. Like I knew about other things happening, but as a kid, I just knew about whatever.
This is not about
that.
All right.
Yeah,
saying something and watching something is two different things. Exactly. I can see the news on. I'm not watching that shit.
No, it is not. When you're talking about subconscious thought. When you,
as a kid, I don't know shit about subconscious thought.
You don't have to know about what subconscious thought is. That's the point. Because what you don't understand is that you don't have to consciously be aware of being programmed without in that situation. For example, when you are a child and you see and hear the feeling of somebody talking about something, you don't have to be watching it like, I'm really interested in this shit. If it's in your realm, it has a subconscious effect on what you value and how you value yourself. That's not something I made up.
No, I don't agree with that. Because the things that I value and how I grew up was around the people that was around me. The news didn't influence anything.
So
how I was raised and the people around me, because the news, I didn't watch the news.
So you think that doesn't affect how you...
I'm talking about me personally. I can't speak for nobody else. I'm telling you how I am.
Yeah,
I can't speak for nobody else, Joe. I'm just telling you how I am. The news did not affect how I view and value things in life.
And nobody here is aware or feels that the news does not portray black people in the news.
I don't care how they portray. I only deal with how they treat me, not how the news
portrays me.
I did not
just say that.
News did not influence how people treat me.
Yeah.
No. But it does.
It does.
Even put like this: when Lynn Bias died from crack, right? That news was what sparked the movement where they created what they call the crack laws, right? So the news influenced real shit, right? So the idea of something not only influences laws, but influences property values and other things, a perception of something.
Okay, can I rebuttal?
Whether you personally are affected or not, the point is that to say it doesn't happen is another.
No, I didn't say that's not what I said. But what you're saying is that affects people outside our community, how they react to us. I'm talking about within my community. Within me and my community, the news did not. I could see somebody out smoking crack. I didn't need a news story to see that. I could see somebody getting shot. I can hear from that from my neighborhood. I didn't need the news to tell me those things. So the news didn't have no influence on me no more than everyday living did. The things that you're talking about as far as news story, land bias, or whatever, those are people from the outside of the black community, and that's how they reacted to us based on those kind of stories. Black people living that every day. The news didn't have to tell us shit that we didn't already know. That's just my feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, me personally, I didn't need the news to tell me stories that I see every day. I see crackheads every day. I've seen people get murdered. I hear about shit like that.
It's interesting that when we talked about reparations, when we discussed what black people were and what they would do with it, it was a negative tint. Much because what you think you are not, you do still reside that type of subconscious thought about yourself and black people in general.
But that doesn't have to come from the news, though. That can come from your surroundings.
It comes from being programmed, and the news is one of the things they do to program.
I find it really hard to believe that we can blame more of that on the news and less on what we see right in front of us.
Right,
like,
that's what I'm saying. The news can influence me more than I hearing gunshots out my window every day. I don't need the news to tell me that.
Okay.
If that's all, if I've only lived around black people, if I've only been in black communities, and that's all I've ever seen, like that's been my main experience. If I grew up in a household where my mama, my daddy, everybody else was bad with money, the news don't have to tell me that people that look like me are bad with money, because the people that are related to me are bad with money.
Because that's what you've been around. But what about somebody?
Because that's what I've been around.
But what about somebody? I'm not talking about somebody who's seen it. Like, I'm not talking about somebody who had a murderer in their family, or somebody who's bad with money. But what about somebody that didn't have that, and they see it on the news? You think it has no effect?
Okay, that's what I was saying. That's subconsciously to the white community, who that's how they look at us as black people through the news.
That's not what I said.
But you're
saying
okay.
somebody that is black, that saw somebody that knows how to deal with money. Do you think that
where the fuck is this person from? What kind of family do they have? Because I'm like, everything they named off.
From my parents, tell you something. My parents, my father was an engineer, became a politician later in life, but at 18 became an engineer. So he gave his money, his check to my mother, and she dealt with finances. So I've never seen somebody black in my household that didn't do that was bad with money. All right. So but still, in seeing that, if I see Tarzan, if I see the news, and I see negative portrayals of black people, it's going to impact me, even if I never saw it, right? But where I grew up in New York, I saw a little bit of everything. It wasn't just one type of thing. There are areas, I agree, in this country where you live, that's all the fuck you know.
So hold up. So you're saying that if you grew up in a household as a black person, and everybody in your family is successful with money, but just because you watch the news that has negative stereotypes about black people with money, that would in turn make you feel some type of way about people outside your family, that they're not good with money?
What I'm saying is, as being somebody that was work with children, knows psychology of children, I would just say that parents should watch what their children are exposed to, and what you feed yourself, you will ultimately become. So even if somebody is around their own family and it's positive, if they watch too much of something, it can influence how they feel about themselves internally. Like, you cannot get around watching Tarzan or get around watching the news incessantly. It does. There have been studies on it, not my opinion, where if you watch the news, it does lead to certain. You don't feel good after you watch the news generally.
For some people,
you feel negative. Well, it ain't not a zero-sum game here.
I'm just saying, just to add, because you got to add context to what you're saying for people who won't be listening to this, because you don't want somebody just to think that's a broad selection of people talking about. For some people, what you're saying, that makes perfect sense. And I've seen it happen. Yeah. And then there's a group of people who are like, no, that doesn't happen to me at all. So I'm saying, like, you don't want to throw numbers in there, but you still want to be like, all right, this might not pertain to everyone. But it might pertain to a general group. You cannot
have a podcast to talk about anything, right? And not appear to be saying something that you feel is true, to feel broad or not. That's not something you can control, because you can say many things.
You can.
I can.
You can.
I do it all the time. That's what I'm saying. I do it all the time.
To me, I find it. I mean, this is just me personally talking. I find it somewhat hard to believe. Maybe you feel differently. This is where we differ at. Yeah. I find it somewhat hard to believe that a black child or black people raised up in a successful family with other successful family members who are good with money, good with business, or whatever it is they do, would then in turn watch the news that has negative stereotypes about their people, and in turn will feel negligent about themselves when they see everybody around them is successful, but they're going to have a white news anchor tell them, oh, your black ass ain't shit because y'all people ain't good with money. I just find that hard. That's just me personally. I find it hard to believe that an outside source would tell you that you're lesser than yourself when the people around you are successful.
And that's why when I just said that might pertain or apply to some people, because some people might not have the mental fortitude to actually look at it like, you know what, maybe I am what that person's saying. And you got some who are like, no, I'm just gonna keep it,
But did I ever say everybody one time?
But what?
No.
But hold on. The argument
why do
I
this is
but
why.
the argument that you
But
were
at the end of the
making,
day,
even when you were talking to Josh,
yeah.
the argument that it started as, so you're gonna tell me that you didn't watch the news and it didn't affect you.
Ever.
That's what you were saying. So and then when he said
you
no,
can't
not
say
me,
that. You can't say
he
that.
can. It's
No.
him. How can you tell him how he speaks about himself?
Here's why.
He definitely can.
But
he can.
Here's why he can.
Okay.
He just said he was in the house when the news was on. When certain shows were on, when certain things.
And I said I seen the news, but I didn't watch it. I said the things that were happening in my community are the things that affected me more than a news story. I didn't watch it as a kid.
So you smoked it, but you didn't inhale it.
Basically,
You know what I'm saying? That's not.
I feel like this because as a kid, bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Yes,
You know
I'm
what?
gonna tell you what I was doing, Joe.
Playing with
toys,
playing with them damn action figures.
Playing with action figures.
Playing with action figures, bro. That's what
I'm on
we
the
did.
Nintendo. I'm not.
Bro, we
I don't
playing-
give a fuck about no
but-
news.
Bro, you know what it is? You gotta understand. We were being kids, so even
So
if it
was
was
I.
wrong, you're different.
Why?
You're a different person than the way we were as being kids. 'Cause when we were
We
kids,
weren't all raised the same way.
Exactly.
We weren't
Because you know
all
what
raised the
happened?
I'm
same
about to
way.
say, I grew up in the
my
projects,
grandparents and
seen
shit, they're
crackheads
like,
all that. I don't
this
need
is
to
adult
watch the
time.
news for that.
Look, this is
I
adult
see that.
time. Go act like go be a child.
Bro, I was outside.
So I was out being a child. Like, you know, I'm gonna play with these toys and shit.
Now,
Hey, get out here with all them toys while I'm watching this
I don't
making
deny
noise.
that
So I'm
propaganda
like,
makes
alright.
a difference. I don't deny that propaganda makes a difference. I don't
It
deny that
does.
what they showed on the news definitely scared most of America, which is why they passed those super predatory laws. However, speaking for those of us who grew up in the projects and lived next door to the niggas that murdered people and did this and did that and seen bullets come through your wall and whatever, the news ain't telling me, the news ain't scaring me more than
I
the
didn't
niggas
even
that
know.
live next
Listen,
door.
I didn't even
That's
know
scary.
the OJ shit happened when I was young.
Yeah.
I didn't know that till I got older.
When were you born?
I went look.
Oh, he.
I had no
Yeah.
fucking listen. I was born in 91.
I was still a child.
I was born in 91. I real life
I was born
it. I didn't know
in the
anything
crack
about
era.
the. When
So
I heard
I
about the
seen
OJ
crackheads
story,
all
I
my
heard about
life.
that shit in a
That
rap
shit is
song first. Like
But when were you born?
91.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't know.
I was past all that
Exactly.
shit.
And that's what I'm saying.
I was 21.
But that's
okay,
our
you
point
were
though.
21.
Like that's
I was
our
21.
point.
And when it happened,
And
like
that's what I'm
94?
saying. Like
I'm not talking about OJ. I'm talking about the fact that I'm gonna make a broad statement. If you see something as a 7-year-old or 5-year-old, you have watched it. Okay? On your 7-year-old, 5-year-old level, you have watched this.
How about this? I just recently found out about the Melendez brothers. Thank you. So
I ain't gonna lie, I saw that shit on
I
YouTube.
just found out
That's
about
how I
them.
found
Because
it.
of your age, though.
no,
I saw that shit on YouTube.
but guess what? That was going on when I was a child. Bro, I'm 33.
You don't understand that.
No, I'm
The Melendez
33.
brothers happened before OJ.
But
Let me-
I'm still a kid.
Let me ask you something.
We're not gonna y'all gonna remember names.
But I distinctly
but
remember O.J. Simpson.
Simply,
Right?
How old were you?
Let's see. That happened, what, 94, right?
Okay.
I was born in 86.
Shit, I was
So-
Okay, so you were 8 years old.
I remember that. The
Okay.
Melendez brothers thing happened, what, 91, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
91.
I remember. I didn't know it was going on at the time because, I'm watching TV. They probably watching. That didn't resonate with me, right? This is like, whatever. Now, the O.J. Simpson thing resonated with me a little bit more, mainly because of how absurd the whole thing started off. That was the funny one, because my grandfather is the one that made me remember it. Because all he did was talk shit the whole time about O.J. He's like, well, look at this motherfucker driving his car. What kind of bullshit ass chase is this? They going like 20 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It was the funny part about it, because I'm looking at my grandfather just joking. That's the only thing that resonated about it. And then when he got off, how everybody was so happy.
Yeah.
And, my grandparents was like, we ain't really happy about this shit.
Yeah.
This man just killed some people.
Yeah.
We not cool with that. But the point I'm trying to get is like, as a kid, there's certain things that you're going to, maybe that might resonate with you. It might not shape the way you are as an adult or anything later on, but, you pick and choose, I guess, whatever the fuck you going to pay attention to.
It's not any one thing.
No, it's not.
It kind of goes back to the whole black doll thing where is a black doll mean, is a black doll this, is a white doll nicer, right? It's children being children, right?
Yeah.
It does not mean that society doesn't build something within you that makes you feel, no matter how you grew up. My point is that symbology and what is subconscious programming is not something a child can consciously or unconsciously turn off and on, right?
Probably,
This is not my opinion. So, and I am speaking on broad terms because everybody here has been a child. I'm saying that if you live in a society, you'll be hard pressed not to feel that way on some level, no matter what your family dynamic is. All I'm saying is that New York City is a different environment. Some neighborhoods, some cities, some towns. If you're rich, you probably only saw rich people, and if you're fucking poor, you probably only saw poor people look like you. Mm-hmm. But if you grew up in New York, you saw everybody doing every fucking thing. So it's not. I can't compare what you had to what I had. I literally saw people smoke crack, and I saw black people running the goddamn stock exchange. Yeah. So I saw both in the same goddamn week. So my experience on that level will be different than people who didn't grow up in a city like that. But what I'm saying is that the pumping of a black face for crime is not new. Birth of a Nation, other movies like that. And the effect it has on people varies. And that's why I always read the books that I read. But it does have an effect. And it should register that. And my only point was that story was fucking newsworthy. I'm not saying it's sexier than Bill Cosby, but you ain't hear about the shit at all.
But we never said it wasn't newsworthy. We just said the media is going to go with the sexy story as Bill Cosby to put out to the American public.
I heard the word it wasn't interesting to you. Or to her. It wasn't
I said it wasn't interesting to the American public.
What I said was, you said, which would you be more interested in? I said I was less interested in that story in comparison to Bill Cosby. That's what I said.
And then she gave you reasons why.
And I also gave you reasons why.
She can relate more to the Bill Cosby victimhood.
I was less interested.
You could relate more to the Bill Cosby story than that story?
Yes, because I can identify with sexually abused victims. So that's why I was more interested in that story. I cannot identify I can least likely identify with a 15-year-old boy from Massachusetts.
So you identify as a woman than as a black person?
Some days.
That's what it's about, though. Like
No, it's not about that either. Because when I brought up I also brought up Trayvon Martin and Michael as an example as well. And I said I identify with them more than I identify with him because those were clear-cut, racially motivated cases. That's what I said.
She did say when she first heard the story about the kid getting killed, she didn't know if it was racially motivated. She did say
I said when I read the articles about it, I didn't know if this was racially motivated. It sounded like a teenager who got jealous and lost his shit. Is he crazy?
She did cover it.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah.
But I just didn't identify with that as much as the other stories that I saw. But that's it.
Okay. I mean, 60 for me, I don't have to necessarily identify with something like, I'm more like, I feel like the story itself, whether it's racially motivated or not. But when this country, was O.J. Simpson racially motivated to kill his wife, so to speak, because she was white? It's irrelevant whether he killed his wife because she was white or not. It was only relevant that it happened, right?
That's the thing, Joe.
So my point is to your point. You feel that in your mind, it has to be proof that it was a racially motivated, consciously racially motivated thing. Like you thought it wasn't.
I never said anything.
No,
like
not you. No, you said
that.
That was relevant in your mind, right?
Yes, that was relevant in my mind.
In O.J. Simpson's case, the fact that they were white at all made it a racial case.
Well, I was born in 91, so I don't care.
It doesn't matter.
I'm not interested in the OJ case either. Like, I'm not.
No,
here's the thing. It doesn't matter what the purpose was. It was whether you're white and black.
But even when I heard about the OJ murder, I thought, oh, okay. But the gruesomeness of it didn't bother me.
Like, really.
Sorry.
And regardless, this whole thing, all it comes down to is matter of opinion. That's all. That's all it is.
It didn't bother me.
So, guess what? The Bill Cosby case won more people's opinions than that case.
No, it's not. This case wasn't even shown. That's my point. Is that about?
I mean, how did you find it out?
Is that about when it on my feed on the phone?
Exactly. Everybody has a phone.
Yes, but my point is.
Wait, Joe,
that's my point.
But you just proved the point. That was something that you found out, right? Because you wanted to take your due diligence and find that out.
No, it's not.
But what we're trying to say is the media, because of what was going on at the time, they didn't want to push that. And we get what you're saying, but this is all on the media. That's not on us. That's not on us for not knowing about it or not going out to reach out and go figure it out.
I didn't say it was on you. I never said that. I said that the media, the news, the powers that be will push a black face. Even if I went over the whole Michael Moore thing, that he showed how in different situations that big cases were happening at the same time that were never talked about, but they repeatedly brought out a black face. I didn't say it was your fault.
No, I'm
it
not.
certainly isn't. My point is that I didn't know about it because I didn't see the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Only 2 days ago the boy was sentenced, but the case was going on the whole fucking
Since
year.
2016.
Exactly, but nobody heard of it. My point is that it wasn't shown, and there's a reason why it's not shown. And we've been dealing with this our whole lives, whether you play with your toys or not. You're going to be dealing with. Yeah. So did I. It wasn't like I was 7 years old, so like this. Yo,
Joe, I don't know sometimes.
I was like, hey, I'm 10 and I done worked on the playground and the pool.
I had a Dukes of Hazzard car.
I know about it.
I had a Dukes of Hazzard car with a Confederate fucking flag that everybody.
You know what? And you know what Joe said? He's like, I'm not gonna play with this racist ass.
Nah, that's not what Joe said. Joe did extra research on the flag. It's like, really, it's not even as big as you making it. Plays with my Dukes of Hazzard toy.
I asked. Alright. I'm talking to my friend Oz. Fuck these niggas. I'm trying to tell him. I'm 45 years old. You think I was talking like this when I was 5? I wasn't.
Yo, I
asked my mama for a Dukes of Hazzard toy, and as I watched Tarzan,
you had a big
Ooga Wooga with a nose and cartoon with the nose with the going through the nose.
Wait, your Tarzan had a bone through the nose?
No, my cartoons did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they used to have that.
Oh, okay.
So
that's another huge difference because you kept mentioning Tarzan, and I was like, why Tarzan? So the Tarzan that I grew up on, I didn't even see him as black. He looked white to me.
Tarzan was white.
Yeah, so I didn't even see. He didn't have a bone. He had none of that
No. Okay, the Warner Brothers cartoons, there used to be the cartoon with the person with the bone through the nose, and he'd be cooking up Caucasian people in the pot.
Oh yeah, no, we didn't have that.
And then my Tarzan that I watched, the black and whites, and they started really running them like. If you born in the 90s.
Oh, you said he was cooking cocaine in a pot?
No, Caucasians.
Oh, damn. Tarzan out here trapping? Trapping.
I got
Nah, but they used to
hey, my mama never to Tarzan. I'm like, oh, his name
Mary Jane.
Like Abbott Costello and Tarzan every Saturday. Right, really before you probably were born or whatever.
My Saturday morning cartoons were
He-Man, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Darkwing.
So you're 92?
Yeah.
You're
91.
You're 91.
We had like a bunch of
So by the time you were 5 or 6, that's all that shit was done. So my point, when I was a child, right, Tarzan was like every Saturday. And that shit was on every fucking Saturday. Uh-oh. And it was a different story of and all the black people never talk. All they did was do this. Ooga Wooga. They would really do Ooga Wooga. Right?
Damn, bro.
Like real shit like that.
Bugs Bunny did. Bugs Bunny did blackface and all that kind of
stuff. Yeah, they did.
But I've seen that.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. Not on the
No, Tom and Jerry also had the black lady that was the owner or whatever.
Yeah.
So in my Tom and Jerry, it was a white lady, and I don't know.
There was multiple different. There was multiple. There was a white lady and there was a black lady.
Oh, okay.
They switched it up like in between.
I'm trying to figure out where else we gonna go.
I saw it too. I remember seeing both.
Soccer team shit.
Shout out to the soccer team.
Equal pay for women, you know. That's just a disparity.
At least slightly. Well, I mean, the disparity, the blah blah. The disparity is crazy to me.
And they be whooping ass. They better than the men's team.
They be real like.
They said the men when they win, they get.
Hold on, I got you because I was looking it up. I'll pull it up.
What?
It's astronomical. Like the women don't make shit.
They said the men make $440 million if they win.
What?
The women only make $30 million.
As a team,
but I got individual salaries too. Hold on, because I looked this up a couple days ago. Because I was like, I looked up ticket sales, I looked up jersey sales, I looked up all of that shit, and they've been racking in since they've been winning. Yeah. Since I think it's like this is the third or fourth.
The second World Cup in a row.
It's been more than the second in a row. The second in a row.
They won.
I ain't gonna mention it, but you see it in the headline.
Oh, I'm not gonna talk about that. We ain't gonna talk about that shit.
Hey.
I'm mad you said that.
Shit.
No, it ain't shit. It ain't shit. Don't worry about it. We talking about the soccer shit.
What's the headline?
We talking about the soccer shit.
I feel like this is personal.
We ain't doing it. I just saw it.
We ain't doing that shit
We
today.
ain't doing it. Not
Y'all
today.
ain't shit right now, man.
We'll show you after.
But after it's over,
Yeah, we'll show you
that's
after.
fucked up.
Okay, so this is
That's fucked up.
this is according to a study that was done.
Don't do it.
Don't do that shit.
Find it. You go find
All news. I'm for all news.
Okay, it says U.S. Women, they make anywhere from 25 to 85 grand per season, with 40 grand being the average.
Yeah.
And then the men make anywhere from 25
To
grand to
300,000.
300 grand per year, with 60 grand being the average.
Yeah.
Bro,
So
they
that's
just
like
out here making
individual
bread.
salaries.
They just out here making bread.
But like even Nike reported that the women went up by like the women's like jerseys and shit went up by like 200%.
Well, look at
Like when they
they beat
in
the
comparison,
shit out of Thailand,
Yeah.
they
and that's why they're like, oh, these bitches beating their ass.
Yeah.
But it's
And
like you had that like these you haven't seen that kind of increase or those kind of sales from the men's side. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Even I even
Men's
looked up
trash.
what they call it, gate sales, they called it.
Yeah.
And they were beating them by like 1.9 million, and that was just for this year alone.
Yeah.
So it's like
Give them that bread.
they went in and they bringing in more money.
Give them that
See,
bread.
see,
What's up?
It should be an obvious thing.
Like what's up?
But I totally understand, why they should get paid a lot more and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But I think the reason why there might have been a discrepancy before is because the males team, when they go overseas and they go against male overseas,
Mhm.
those teams are like a way higher.
Yeah, they bring in a lot of viewers.
Yes,
They
for
do.
them
Yeah.
overseas.
And
But
so
here,
I saw an argument.
really,
I saw
no.
an argument for that too, and that was the thing. I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Like they were like, oh, well, the men's World Cup from last year or whatever, like brought in however many views. But I was like, but the U.S. men's team wasn't in it, so
Yeah,
why
so-
is
see-
that a
see
part
that-
of the argument?
I mean, yeah, that should be part of the
I
argument. I'm talking about
understand.
as far as I kind of understand why the U.S. men's team would get paid more in a sense because of the overseas games. But I'm talking about like as of now, I feel personally that the female team should get like more compensation for what they've been doing, especially since they've been winning World Cups like back and forth. You know what I'm saying? So I see why, but I see why before there was this disparity.
The clarification, like, so they're being paid by what? The FIFA or?
Yeah, who's
Talking about that-
paying?
The United States Soccer Federation, USSF.
So that's just what the U.S. Soccer Federation pays to them.
Yes, and their auditors responded by saying that their discrepancy is based on aggregate average incomes from revenues, and it has nothing to do with sex. That's what they said. But aggregate, for those who don't know, means they can do math magic. Like you can find an average 5 different ways and come up with 5 different answers, and that's what the fuck they doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So basically, that was just a bullshit answer.
Bullshit.
Yeah,
Sound about right.
especially since they've been killing it. Like I think they just
Because if you can decide what's most valuable, then you can use that to dictate who you paying more. Like
But like this, they
So-
out there
so the-
whooping ass.
So what about FIFA though? Because FIFA is running the World Cup. So do they pay them something?
so
That's
that's what
some
the
other
teams
shit.
get paid when they win, right?
That's like
so
that's like
the
how much
400
they
million
get.
versus the 30 million.
And
Or 40 million.
that's FIFA.
Yeah,
I
I believe
believe
that's
so.
FIFA. But FIFA got
Shout
all
out
that
to
bread.
them,
FIFA
bro.
like got crazy amount of bread. So I
So
believe that's FIFA.
who they
The
beefing-
U.S. thing she
who
talking
they
about just
beefing with? The U.S. or FIFA?
No, I would say the US.
This is U.S. They're
Because
they're talking about their
Whatever,
salary
FIFA,
like per
FIFA.
game.
FIFA.
That's what they're
Oh,
arguing
FIFA.
about. Or that's what they want an increase
Yeah,
to.
but
their salary
FIFA
per
is
game.
like that's the whole organization overseas. But
Yeah.
here is more so just the American what they're paying.
USSF.
The U.S. Soccer
Yes.
Federation.
Yeah, I mean, because I believe, the United States women's team, I don't know how much they can sway FIFA, whatever.
Well,
As far
I mean-
as FIFA.
Yeah, it's
As
FIFA.
far as pay discrepancy, that's out of their hands. As far as the U.S. Chapter or whatever, that's what I think they can control that aspect. I don't know.
I mean, because if you look at like what NBA, like the male NBA teams pay or NBA pays the WNBA their salary based on their games and all the sales for that. So it's kind of like the male more. It's like everybody focuses more so on the male part of the NBA versus the female. So I can understand why the female team would be getting paid as much, especially how the male part is mostly paying for the female But overseas, that's why most people go overseas and play sports overseas because, you know,
It's more money anyway.
there's more money over there anyway.
Aw.
For the women.
Way more money.
For the
Yeah,
women.
for the women, yeah,
Yeah.
they make
Especially
money.
for women. Don't y'all remember that movie, motherfucking Love and Basketball?
Yeah.
She made she was out here balling
He
out
was
there
in Italy,
in
killing it.
Yeah.
Italy,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Buongiorno."
What he say? He said, "Pass the ball to you."
Exactly.
Yeah,
But,
that's
you know,
interesting though.
I mean, if you ain't getting paid here, go overseas.
Yeah,
That's
We're
what I
gonna
say.
travel. Why not?
Might as well.
That'd be great.
I mean, I've always enjoyed
Don't
going
sit here
to
and settle. Especially here.
So what was that news feed about?
Oh, Jermaine Dupri.
Oh, wait, the comment that he made?
Yeah.
Oh.
So Jermaine Dupri,
Yeah. He said that. Well,
he was doing a recent sit down with People TV,
mhm.
and the hip hop veteran was asked to name his favorite female MC in the game.
Mhm.
The host threw out a few names like Megan Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, but you know Jermaine Dupri drew a blank, and he said, "I really can't say. The only reason why I can't say is because I feel they're all rapping about the same things.
Mm.
I don't think they're showing us who's the best rapper. I think they're trying to show, for me, it's like strippers rapping.
Mm.
And as far as rap goes, I'm not getting who's the best rapper. I'm getting like, okay, you got a story about you dancing in the club. You got a story about you dancing in club. You got a story about you dancing in the club. It's like, okay, who's going to be the rapper? At some point, somebody's going to have to break out of that mold and just show us, talk about other things, and just rap about other things beside that.
Did they ask him who his favorite male MC was? Just
Nah, he
curious.
didn't. I don't think they did.
Oh, okay.
Now, and I was
Is he wrong?
when it comes to those three, they really don't talk about anything else, but there are other female MCs.
I feel like
Sucks because you got
before Nicki
Rhapsody and all that
Minaj's like pre-famous shit, like
Yeah.
her mixtape shit before she was like when she was hungry,
Yeah.
she had bars.
Yeah.
Like she could rap. I don't know what the fuck she doing now. I don't know if it's the dick or what, but the baby it ain't there no more.
Yeah.
But she had bars when her mixtapes are still bomb to this day. I don't even listen to mixtapes and I listen to her mixtapes.
Yeah, but nobody's gonna, it's not popular. Shit.
I mean, I'm just saying like the shit is bomb. But what bothers me about what he said, here's what bothers me. Female MCs are doing nothing more than what I've seen the majority of male MCs do.
Yep.
How many times has Wayne told us that he pop pills, fuck bitches, and spend money just in different ways?
I mean, that's why I don't listen to Wayne.
I mean, that's the majority. I just feel like if you're gonna make that, that's why I asked if they asked him who his favorite male MC was, because the men are doing it too. They not rapping about stripping, but they rapping about being on the corner,
I think
shooting niggas,
There's a
selling
difference
drugs.
between MC and rapper, though. I think.
Oh well,
Yeah,
they
because,
ask for a
like-
rapper.
No, they asked for MC.
MC,
Yeah.
okay.
MC and rapper is two
Master
different
of
things.
ceremony.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
I agree.
okay.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's why I said
MC.
the three that they threw out, I can see why he said that, because they're not really MCs. They just kind of make rap songs. You know, it is.
Oh
what it is.
yeah.
Because now, if they would have threw out a Rhapsody or something like that, it's like, okay, yeah, she raps. Like, she be rapping. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's actually.
It's not like he's against female rappers, because he brought out one of the best female rappers that was ever brought out in the Brat and others. You see his show, the Rap Game. He has like half of them are female rappers.
I think in my opinion, since I've been alive, let me put it this way, since I've been alive and listening to rap music, this is the first time that I've seen so many female rap artists at one time, all doing well, and all in control of their own shit.
That's fine.
Who's this?
This is what I think. I think that Jermaine Dupri, what he said wasn't necessarily wrong. I think he was just answering in the context of the question.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they had said, who you think is the best male rapper between fucking Young Thug and...
I would be curious to know what he said. I would be very curious.
Yeah.
I would be very curious because Bao don't have bars.
But
That's his artist.
since he said MC,
He never had bars.
because like, but since he said MC, MC really
And
pretty
it was
much
still trash.
MC pretty much differentiates that,
He was
because
called Bow Wow.
because even Eminem doesn't consider himself a rapper. He considers himself an MC.
Oh
He
yeah,
earned
he
it.
does.
He's
Yeah,
earned it.
yeah,
He's
for
earned it.
sure,
You know what
for
I'm
sure.
saying?
It's
for
Cardi
sure.
B and
That's
MC.
why I'm like-
Let's-
that's what I'm saying.
let's-
Cardi
let's-
B's not- they're not
let's
MCs.
break down the three people he
I don't know
asked
about Cardi B.
Was he asked about three people?
Yeah, he said 3 people.
Cardi
So
B,
Yeah.
She's a rapper.
Megan Thee Stallion,
Yeah.
She's
and
definitely
Nicki
a rapper.
Minaj. Now,
Okay.
out of all that, Nicki Minaj She
was an
She
MC.
has the potential.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
She's just
she
not
had the
there.
potential.
But
Megan
she
Thee
just,
Stallion,
she's been it before.
I just heard one of Megan Thee Stallion songs. I was like, she made
About
just,
Big Old Freak.
No, not that one. It was some other shit. But I was like, I'm not mad at what she's doing because I don't get mad at anybody for what they're doing. It's not my type of music I would listen to.
What if you threw City Girls in there? It'd be like,
Well, I
please
like
don't
not City Girls. I think I maybe got a speech impediment, but but
Wait. You
ain't trying to get flued?
Hold on. Wait. How about this?
I got
She's from Miami.
with the beat, like
She's from Miami.
yeah, but the other girl don't sound like that. I think that baby got a speech impediment. I'm
Damn.
sorry.
All
I'm
right.
sorry.
Good.
I'm sorry. It sounds like more than an accent to me. It
No,
sounds like
that's how they talk. A lot of them talk like that.
okay,
They
well,
just-
it sounds like she. I mean, it
well,
sounds like
that, and I don't think that young
I don't
girl.
know.
I don't
But
think
anywho.
she's really finished school.
I
honestly.
like what's Cayenne from New York.
I don't know who that is.
She got bars.
Oh, and that was another thing that and Cardi B, because she responded, she was like, "Yo, a lot of these women are not being, I guess, talked about. Some of the MCs. So it was almost like she literally made his argument a little bit. Because I'm looking like, well, because he was basically saying like, yo, y'all talk about overly sexual stuff. You're not really rapping about shit.
Yeah, but they're not.
You know what
But
I'm saying?
that's my thing though. If that's his argument, like
I think it is.
who
'Cause this is
hasn't
Jermaine
talked
Dupri.
about overly sexual shit?
Yeah.
Who hasn't? That's
Right.
sex sells. What
It
do
does.
you mean? Even if you put it in
No,
a
it
nice
does.
bar,
I mean,
it's
it
still
does.
sex.
No, it does. But as far as like an MC goes, I'm looking at Jermaine Dupri is what 40-something, 50-something years old. So he actually came up in an era where niggas were rapping.
Yeah,
like, niggas had bars.
Yeah.
So I can see
Minimum,
him saying or feeling a certain way about like, yo, I kind of this and that. And then again, when you got somebody like the Brat who could rap fucking circles around niggas, like the Brat is dope. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. The Brat got bars. Yeah. Like she can rap, and she bad as shit. That's the crazy part. Like she a pretty ass woman. And she got bars. So I can see why he might feel the way he might feel about it. I feel like that was a loaded question, and he gave just a bullshit answer without really explaining.
Too,
So all of it was kind of like
Left Eye is one of the greatest MCs. Period.
Which is weird. I never thought she was dope.
Dope. She's dope.
Well, the only reason I kind of leave her out of that argument is because she was in a group setting. Like if she'd have did I never heard her on a solo project. You know what I'm saying? Where I heard Queen Latifah and MC Light and I like Mia X from No Limit. People sleep on her, but I thought she was dope.
Big Mama Mia.
Yeah, she was
that
dope to
motherfucker
me.
was dope.
But I heard her solo projects with Left Eye. I heard her in the context of a group. I would have liked to have heard her in a solo project, but she died too soon. So that's why I don't put her in the same category as other solo female artists. That's the only thing that separates her.
I would agree with you, but I always say imagine TLC without Left Eye, and then kind of weigh that against each other.
Yeah, because did any of them have any solo success outside of the group?
No. Well, they decided they didn't want to move forward without her.
I can understand that.
And I only brought it up also because of the Jermaine Dupri connection. He's worked with some of the.
Oh, okay.
Can I tell you about what Cardi B responded? You want to hear what she said?
Sure.
So Cardi B, she responded and she said, "I have seen a lot of people saying nowadays female rappers only talk about their pussy and shit. And now that Jermaine Dupri bring it up, now I'm going to say something about it, right? First of all, I rap about my pussy because she's my best friend. You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
And second of all, it seems like that's all people want to hear. I ain't even going to front because let me tell you something. When I did Be Careful, people was talking mad shit in the beginning like, what the fuck is this? This is not what I expected. I expected this. Right. Yes, I expected that. So it's like, if that's what people ain't trying to hear, then all right, I'm gonna start rapping about my pussy again. She then changed gears and started blasting blogs for failing to support female rappers who aren't strictly rapping about sex.
Well, I don't think that was a shift in gear. That was her supporting what she just said. I'm rapping about sex because that's what sells.
Yeah, this is what she said though.
Oh.
Yeah. There's a lot of female rappers that be rapping their ass off and they don't be talking about their pussy and don't be talking about getting down and dirty, and y'all don't be supporting them. Y'all don't be supporting them. They be mad dope. These bloggers don't support them. They don't give them the recognition. So don't blame that shit on us when y'all not the ones that's supporting them.
So I think I gotta really think about. I think what bothers me about his answer is when I think about if you're gonna say that they're not a good MC, then talk about their lyricism. You know what I'm saying? If he had said, "Well, I don't think that they got bars. I don't think they got wordplay. I don't think they deliver." You know what I'm saying? If he had said that, then I would be like, "Okay, you got a point." But when you said
he kind of did.
No, he talked about the content of what they rap about.
No, because he just said like, "Yo, I mean, y'all gotta talk about some other shit."
Is that not the content?
Yeah, but your bars, I mean, if that's what your bars reflected on, also is
but
it goes hand in hand.
No, I disagree. You can rap about you. Again, I'm just gonna go back to Lil Wayne, who's been shitty for quite some time. But even before he was fucked up, he was still talking about the same shit. He just said it in different ways. And that's why people was like, damn, oh, he got bars, he got this, because he had good punchlines. So that's what I'm saying. If he was to say outside of the content, because niggas rap about the same shit all the time. All the time. They rap about killing drugs and shit.
I can't imagine Jermaine Dupri saying that Lil Wayne is a dope MC.
Yeah.
Not somebody of that age.
Well, I'm not talking.
But
that's my reference. That's my reference because that's my reference because I'm under 30. Yeah. But my point is, if he were critiquing their lyricism, that wouldn't be a problem. My issue is he critiqued more so their content. They sound more like strippers rapping. Okay, most niggas sound like hood niggas rapping. They ain't talking about shit either. Even the ones with bars.
Did the interviewer mention those three names, or
this is what I think.
The interviewer mentioned those names
as an example.
As an example. Answer about it. He was like, yo, and this is my answer.
Okay, and what I'm saying is, I didn't like the answer because he just talked about.
But they were all strippers, though.
No, Megan Thee Stallion was never a stripper.
She wasn't.
She was not. She was never a stripper. She was actually in college.
A lot of strippers go to college.
Yeah, but she
I don't mind strippers. I'm just saying that her content is nothing but. It's not bad to me, but is she an MC? Is what I'm saying.
Look, this is one of those situations where, and I hate to sound, I don't want to be this person, right? Because like I said, I mean, there are not a lot of female rappers that I've ever been excited about. Because I'm going to keep it funky. I do hear about the same shit a lot. You know what I got excited about, which was weird? I got Young M.A. That was actually kind of exciting.
I wasn't excited about Young
because
M.A.
Young M.A.
Are we talking about recently or are you talking about
recently?
In your life?
Yo, recently. I'm talking about just recently. Like, recently, I'm like... And I wasn't even excited about Young M.A., but I was like, oh, this is a little different. It was still talking about dope and all that other shit, but it was at least a little different. You know what I'm saying? It was at least something. I mean, nothing against...
talking about fucking bitches.
That's fine.
How is that different?
Let me finish. Thank you. So, when it comes to the Megan Thee Stallion, I'm like, I can't relate to that shit. I can't relate to what you're talking about. So, me as a dude, as a man, and again, they're asking a man this question about some of this shit. So, he might not even be able to relate to any of this shit.
You gotta remember, if you ask me that question, look, I have no disrespect for anybody, what women do and don't do. I know women of all types. If you ask me about those three women, I'm going to say that's stripping music. If you ask me about Queen Latifah, because my first female rap I've ever heard about in my life was the real Roxanne, right? Roxanne Shante, Salt and Pepper, Queen Latifah,
Dana,
Moni Love.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these are those.
Yo.
When I think of MC Lyte,
which
is like my top 3-5 MCs. Period. But so my reference point goes back far deeper than them. Their content can't even hold this candle to what they was doing. So they talk about it's fun shit, it's party shit, but it's not MCing shit. MC Lyte was an MC. They are rapping about stripper shit. It's something you play in a club, which is great, but it's not at the level of those women. Those women held women to a higher standard.
You calling a bitch?
These women don't.
My thing is also like that somebody asked him a question, right? And is it good?
No, hold on. Keep talking though.
But so my thing is that since they asked him a question, you can't.
Not yet.
No.
Wasn't it? I'm sitting here talking directly into it.
I see how you are. See how you are, Sean. It's disgusting.
I mean, hit him with the.
Watch out! Watch out! Watch out!
Watch
Yeah,
how to
shit.
do this. Nah, you gotta speak up. I guess I don't know exactly.
I'm speaking loud too. So
All right, go ahead. Just keep
So
going.
my thing is, they asked him a question, right? So he gave an answer for that specific question. But let's say that they asked him about how male rappers. What would you have said?
That was my first question.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So maybe he would have said, like you said,
yeah.
maybe he would have said the same thing. And said,
Damn,
maybe all the
going on
No.
a roundabout way of saying.
I know what she said. I know she said in the beginning, but I'm just saying maybe he would have answered it the same way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like I wouldn't necessarily get too mad at what his answer was because maybe that's what he thought. That's what he heard. Because if they asked him the same question about a guy, he would have said the same shit. So
Possibly.
I think the first female rapper recently who I thought was going to be different was Dej Loaf. Because
I thought that was
when she came out, she was rapping about some goon shit. You know what I'm saying? So she wasn't talking about stripping or nothing like that. She was talking about killing the whole family or some crazy shit like that.
I mean, just my thing though. It doesn't matter if they talking about stripping. I have nothing wrong with their content. It's not for me because that's just not the type of shit I really listen to. I'm putting myself in his shoes, and I can see why he would probably give the answer. Now, if they would have said, well, Nicki Minaj, Rhapsody, this person or that person, you know what I'm saying? It seemed like, for me, whoever asked him that question, they definitely asked him whoever they thought, let's go ahead and put Nicki Minaj and Cardi B just to see what happens. Because if you would have said anything about Cardi B against Nicki Minaj, then that would have looked like a problem. Or vice versa, right?
Are they even at the same level? I mean, Nicki Minaj is far better than
she is, but I feel like
you mean like as
an artist.
As an artist?
To me, is an MC, in my opinion.
But I think she dumbed down the lyrics.
I hate her music now. It's so basic. It's awful.
I'm only talking about her come up music. Her come up music.
Yeah.
10 years ago.
And
I honestly think her problem is her head got too big.
Megan Thee Stallion. I listened to her album.
Megan Thee Stallion has potential.
It's like Trina to me, which I love Trina. It's Trina because she uses her wordplay is kind of dope. Actually,
I like Trina.
So
I want another MC like to me and I argue with this I didn't argue. We agreed that the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is still one of the greatest albums in hip hop history.
She can't even do no goddamn show.
Yes, she can. Yes, she can.
I don't know if she can.
Oh, I thought you said she couldn't do it at all. She
Damn
can't
it, man! Shit. Kia, look, man.
Sorry, that's me.
I need you.
Kia locked it
down.
loaded, boy.
Jesus Christ!
That's not gonna happen.
Kia locked it loaded tonight.
Y'all are terrible.
No, but I'm saying
it's been like that. Let's go.
I know.
Let me finish what I'm saying.
Bruh.
I just want. I hear all this stripper music, but I want to hear an MC in the likeness of a Lauryn Hill who has a versatile music subject. I think it's low-key what Jermaine Dupri was trying to say, that, he grew up in an era where female MCs had a variety of subjects that they tackled and not just stripper music and talking about sex. And I mean, he probably could have said it different where it would have came out better maybe. I think he just answered the context of the question.
I don't think he needed to say it any different. I think he said it the way he was supposed to.
I just feel like, because there are female MCs who do have other things going on. Do they get the same kind of representation or clout that Lauryn Hill got at that time? No. But that was also a different time. You know what I'm saying? Like, but what these women, Cardi B, what she raps about, that's her life. What you expect her to rap about?
No,
she raps, you know what I'm saying? That's her life. Or the same thing with
Nicki Minaj.
The girls,
City
girls,
Girls.
yeah, them.
Hey, guess what?
They rap about their life, so
And
it's
that's
like,
fine.
so it's like there are other MCs out here that have better stuff. They're just not being mainstream. That's just what it is. It's the same thing on the male side.
The
you know what
question
I'm
needs to
saying?
be who is in charge of
what's
pushing these females.
Lupe Fiasco, he been talking about shit. All he had was Kick Push. After that, they ain't never pushed this man no fucking more.
I mean, I had
His
all
other
three
shit
of
was
his
far
albums.
doper than that.
It was, but they didn't push it.
But
you know what I'm saying?
He also kind of fucked himself.
said.
But I'm just saying, like, that content is
talking
what
wild.
sells. You know what I'm
He
saying?
was
Like,
saying
Too Short
wild
been
shit.
talking about sex all his life, and he can drop a single
But
right
then you
from
got
it now.
somebody
That shit
who breaks
shoots
the
to the top.
mold, like a Kendrick Lamar, who can talk about thought-provoking shit also, and
J.
some
Cole.
gangsta shit. J. Cole. You got Big Crit. You got a lot of them.
I listen to some of J. Cole other shit, and some of his shit is still hood shit too, because it's stuff that he
It's
experienced.
good shit, but I don't
you know
think
what
it's
I'm
him
saying?
talking about, like, killing niggas and shit.
Some of it, yes, because I listen to
Look
it.
here, Jermaine.
Fuck.
Jermaine.
Yeah.
You not killing nobody, Jermaine.
I'm just telling you The nigga, this what he be rapping about.
Okay,
the niggas
Jermaine.
in Fayetteville and running up on.
Oh, look.
This what the fuck he be
Look, just
rapping
because
about.
you lived in Vietnam, don't mean you was out here
It
killing
be
people,
different shit.
Jermaine.
But I
Like
think
if I'm a female artist, even if I got the same, what's my man name? The crazy one, 21 Savage. You know,
Yeah.
is it 21?
21
Yeah,
Savage?
or Designer. One of them.
Oh yeah.
One of them. I don't know. Designer. This man
With the panda shit?
with the panda
Yeah,
shit.
the designer.
This man, he's well spoken,
Yeah.
well educated.
What?
He said, this man can actually, like, he can,
Like Lil Jon.
yes, he chose this route because that is what the fuck sells.
I'm cool with it, but
That's
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, at the end of the day,
I think Panda was genius, actually.
But
Well,
then,
I was
genius, but
but then, this is how I feel.
Genius.
So then you have too many people. I think you'll get to a point where you have too many female MCs living the same life, whether they live it or not.
Yeah.
There's gonna be females who didn't live that
But
life.
how
who
is
wanna-
that different from the male MCs that are rapping about the same
It's
things
not.
as well?
It's not different.
we're not
Right,
saying
so
it
why
isn't.
is that? Why are we not talking about the problem in general? Why are we just saying?
No, I was saying
You know why
we
we're
need to
not
talk about
talking
who
about
is
The
pushing these.
interviewer only asked
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Who
we
is
can't
selecting who gets on and who
doesn't?
doesn't? That's what we need to be talking about.
At the end of the day, we're not talking about the males because that's not what they asked. They asked him a question. He gave an answer. Now, if they would have asked him a question about all of it and he gave that answer, then it's like, all right, bro, you got to at least talk about this and that. But if they asked him, hey, out of these female rappers, who do you think da-da-da? And he's like, yo, this is my honest answer. Like, I feel like this is what they talk about, blah, blah. So I can't even really give you an answer right now. That's basically what I can't give him my answer. It's like, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Like, they're not, I don't know what to tell you.
I've never heard Jermaine Dupri disrespect, like, on his records. He's not one of those disrespectful persons to women.
No.
There's no indication of that. His show, like I said, the rap show that he has on television, like most of his MCs are women or girls, so it's like there's no indication. And he presents the girls in a fashion where it respects their bodies. Like he's somebody that I can say I've never seen him in a situation where
That joke.
the
The
artist,
seen him in a situation.
the artist.
Oh shit!
Not in a broad sense, nigga.
Thank you.
Joke.
This is a broad ass episode.
Just to be clear.
Broadway Joe, that's what we're
I don't
gonna
know talk about.
He gets a
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah. But yeah, like like he's been pretty upstanding with his women
I would say
the women that have been around him. It's always been in videos. I haven't seen him saying like Coleman bitches and shit. I've never seen it. So he's I don't think he's coming out of a place of disrespect.
Yeah, and I guess that's how I'm looking at it. I don't think he's trying to be an asshole about it. I feel like they just asked him a question, he gave an answer. It's almost, if you ask me a question, ask me the same question, I'll probably give you the same answer, but I'll let you know, like, that's just not my type of music anyway, though. So I can't really answer that for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really listen to them and this and that, but I'm a fan. Like, I'm just a regular consumer. Whereas, he's a producer, this and that. So I guess they expected a little bit more, but I mean, it'd be different. He came up like, yo, all they shit whack. All them bitches do is talk about sucking dick and strap at and sucking dick. They should talk about more. Fuck them hoes. I'm like, all right, you fucked up, dog. But I think he just gave an honest answer. I mean,
but there are people in Atlanta that when you're from certain areas and you've had money for a long time, that when you're around women like that a lot, it's like a certain type of women they automatically just write off. Because they just seen too much of that type of energy. But he does have people around him that he respects.
Absolutely.
Sometimes like myself, like when I was younger, like I respected my mother so much and the women around me so much that like when I saw other women I didn't know what I never saw it. So when I did see and notice that there were people that were not like people that were in my household, or at least my mother, right? It's like it threw me off. I was like it started to be like rampant disrespect if they didn't meet that level. It sounded like something like him because it's like you see people how they act with people with money and see that type of woman out there. You might find yourself disrespecting or disregarding that whole swash of humanity, right? I can see that happening with him because he's had money since he was 18.
Well, he did have a hiccup with the IRS. They came and got him. They came. He had to holler at Uncle Sam one time.
Hey.
He still worth $25 million.
Yeah.
I mean, let's put it like
they all
this.
get hit.
I look up people's net worth for
God, like damn.
Well, I feel like this just to leave this on this note when it comes to, I don't want people to like really. I don't feel like people should get mad at him. Like I don't want people to get mad. take what he said. Just, look at it. It is what it is. I don't think it was out of disrespect or anything like that. Just take it for what it is. That might not be his cup of tea, and it is what it is. I just don't see him being disrespectful, but there definitely are, some dope ass rappers. Because at first I didn't know that, they brought up them three. Because I'm like, I thought he was just talking about female rappers in general. So I was like, oh, you bugging. But once he brought up them three, I'm like, oh. All right, well, I kind of see why he might have gave that answer because, you did bring up three that their lyrics are very over-sexualized for certain reasons and stuff like that. So I understand why you would probably make that, give that answer to...
And that's never been his style, though.
I get it.
Those rappers, that never been his style.
I think the interview could have, like Key was saying, he could have then flipped it and asked him about male MCs to get a whole conversation.
I'm trying to think. It was... Let me see who... Motherfucker.
Then we could have got both sides of how you feel.
But has Jermaine
so that's a fucking setup anyway. Why are we mad at these Yaku bitches who out here trying to set up this black man to get him mad? See, y'all don't see the shit. Have your pineal gland open, sister. Okay. Whatever. Fuck that. Fuck that.
Right.
Perennial?
Yeah, have your
all-star?
Yes, exactly, you motherfuckers. Have your gland open,
but if I'm understanding correctly, the question was posed, and then they threw those names out there as examples. Which they're the three names that would come to mind if you are not
maybe
into
yeah,
because that's what you see
exactly.
So that's what you see, but. I also hold him to a higher standard because you're a producer in the music industry. So you can't tell me that's all you see.
Yeah.
I understand that, but if you give me a question, I'm going. Y'all see, I'm gonna let y'all know something, women. Let me give you one tidbit of help to deal with men. You give us a task, right? If you ask us a question, we're not thinking no more than what you asked us sometimes. So if you say, if you to say, what you do today, I'm gonna tell you what I did. But if you want to know more about it, why don't you tell me you did this? You ain't asked that. That's how a lot of us are. So if you ask this man,
this number one.
But there's
one thing that pisses me off about women. They'll ask you a question and they don't like your answer.
Thank you.
Like, what you do today? Oh, I ain't do nothing but watch TV. That ain't all the fuck you did.
Yes.
That's literally all. You know you did more than that.
I took a shit. I ate. I cooked. So why didn't you tell me that then?
Right.
What the fuck?
But
that's what I'm trying to say. They asked that man a question. Yeah. He gave an answer. You can't expect no more than what he gave. Now,
I think it's cool. I think it's cool because in Soul Career, have you ever known Jermaine Dupri to get behind a female rapper of that type?
No.
Okay, so see, his answer is legitimate for him. Now, somebody like Lil Jon said that. I'll have a problem with that.
I would have, yes, because he got behind the King Twins and they always talk about scripts.
Exactly. But Jermaine
he do EDM now, so it's different.
So, the fuck?
He hanging out with white people now. So
I don't give a fuck.
As usual. Go ahead.
I hate y'all.
But I digress. We ain't got time to talk about uterine transplant.
Oh,
no.
Transplant, yeah. We got a break. We got some
transplants.
Bro, we are 2 hours in.
Yeah.
We are 2 hours and 7 minutes.
They gonna have the womb that you can sit in the living room center too.
We got time.
I'm ready.
That's remote cloning, but go ahead.
Yeah, pretty much. But so is baby slicing, so go ahead.
Okay, so
is that medicine? We're gonna do. We're gonna do a speed one.
A speed round.
No,
one at a time.
No, they have created something that you can go in and change the genetics one by one. I want my baby to be this or do this. There's a guy who's developing that right fucking now. So
we didn't even get to talk about the money in the ATL truck.
We'll talk about that later.
Oh shit!
$75,000.
I told you guys.
I wouldn't tell a goddamn person. I wasn't driving my car that day.
You know they can track the money on what's it called?
No, not if it wasn't picked up from a bank.
It
wasn't picked up from a bank.
Oh shit! Stop doing that.
I didn't know they were gonna keep going.
Yes. What the fuck?
Oh shit! I put it in my goddamn face.
Talk about a Disney World flag.
A fire?
This was
was a fire in Disney World?
No. I think this podcast.
Cause I got one more thing to say.
It was your boy Sean, Mr. NJ Brick City.
Any other way?
Just here.
All right, now look.
I want to go home.
Give me a few minutes.
Just give me like 5 minutes.
Yeah, all black people are programmed by television.
Oh,
Whether
no.
it's outside and inside. I love y'all.
My favorite one named this shit.
We're gonna take unfiltered podcast about yours.
Episode 107. And we appreciate y'all listening. All right, thank you. Peace.
Oh man.
I hate y'all.